It's time once again for Australia's greatest sporting spectacular, the VFL Grand Final for 1985. And from above, what a scene it is over the MCG, one of the most famous sporting grounds, not only in this country, but in the world. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you may be, and welcome to the Seven Network's coverage of the 1985 VFL Grand Final. This year, as has been the case in the past two seasons, it will be the top two sides, Hawthorn taking on Essendon. And what a classic confrontation it promises to be. Down here, the atmosphere is absolutely electric. We were informed during the week, in fact it was Tuesday morning, that the game would be a sellout. Now there are some 100,000 people surrounding me in anticipation of yet another great finals match. I just wonder what the atmosphere and the colour look like from up above. In the Channel 7 News helicopter, Norm Beeman.
Thanks, Sandy. Well, as you said, it's certainly a wonderful spectacle from up here in our unique vantage spot about 1,500 feet above the stadium in the Channel 7 helicopter. From up here, the view leaves you in little doubt as to just how much this event means to so many people. As we approach the start time for the game, people are still coming in through the gates into the MCG, the shrine of VFL football, and they'll swell the crowd to around about 100,000. Still one or two spots left in the stands, but I'm sure that they'll be filled very shortly. Weather looking slightly ominous, a heavy cloud bank out to the northwest of the city, but it should only produce a few showers. And it'll take a lot more than that to spoil the action down there, Sandy, and back to you.
Many thanks to Norm Beeman in the Channel 7 News helicopter. I mentioned the atmosphere within the ground, but really it all starts well and truly before that. The banners are prepared during the week, and those people, the spectators that come to the ground, spend hours preparing themselves for their favourite pastime. So I wonder what the atmosphere was like outside the ground a little earlier on in the day. For that report, here's Peter Donegan.
Thank you, Sandy. Well, since the early hours of this morning, football fans have been arriving in their droves for this final confrontation in the 1985 season, the VFL Grand Final between the Bombers and the Hawks. It's that day of the year when convention goes out the window and footy fever really does take over. The day when you paint your face in club colours and wear just about as much of the brown and gold or the red and black as you can possibly cram onto your body. The souvenir stalls, of course, have been doing a roaring trade. It seems almost every one of the 100,000 people here today will be showing their allegiance to either Hawthorn or Essendon. Hawk supporters like these can still well remember the sweet taste of victory that they savoured in 1983. While, of course, the Bomber fans will turn back the clock 12 months from today and that last quarter comeback which gave them the flag. And these fans are no doubt hoping for a similar result. So it's time for a quick drink before the battle begins. There's electricity in the atmosphere. And Sandy, this great arena is set to burst at the seams in just a few moments when the VFL Grand Final gets underway. And the world will be watching.
Thank you, Peter. Well, the excitement really building now within the confines of the MCG. Not just Essendon and Hawthorn supporters, but football lovers throughout the land, waiting in anticipation. It won't be long. We'll be back with you in just a moment. As we welcome you back to our coverage of the 1985 Grand Final, we look across the city of Melbourne and one of the most exciting buildings almost in completion, that of course is the Rialto. But what a magnificent sight it is. It's also a great sight here within the MCG. It won't be long now before the two teams run out to contest the 85 final. But what about those two sides? Let's take a look at the makeup of them now.
Essendon had virtually a full list to choose from in their bid for back-to-back premierships. In the back line, they've named Mark Thompson, the ever-reliable Paul Weston, and last year's Norm Smith medalist Billy Duckworth. On the half-back line, watch for the driving defence of Glenn Hawker, Big Kevin Walsh and Gary Fodes. The centre line is perhaps the most damaging in football today, with the experience of Brian Wood, the power play of Timmy Watson, and the determination of Murph Neagle. The half-forward line boasts the elusive Mark Harvey, rugged Roger Merritt and skipper Terry Danaher. On the forward line, they've named former Swan District champ Leon Baker and high flyers Paul Salmon and Paul van der Haan. The rucks are former captain Simon Madden, the skillful Darren Williams and rover Tony Elshaw. Essendon have left their options open by naming Donnell, Carey, Ezard, Neil Clark and Hurd on the interchange bench. The rugged Hawks have named a lineup they hope will be entered into the history books as the 1985 premiers. Hawthorn can rightly claim one of the best defences in the league, with backman Peter Swab, the reliable Chris Mew and Gary Ayres. Halfbacks are Russell Green, West Australian chap Rod Lester-Smith and youngster Russell Morris. The centre line consists of the courageous Peter Russo, the brilliant Terry Wallace and rugged Robert Di Domenico. Half-forwards are 25-year-old John Kennedy, the high-flying Dermot Brereton and the elusive Ken Judge. Playing his last game for the Hawks is skipper Lethal Lee Matthews. He's joined on the forward line by young Queenslander Jason Dunstall and the very handy Michael McCarthy. Hawthorn are without a recognised ruckman, but have swung Chris Langford into this position in an effort to counter the Bombers' height. Still, he has considerable backup from Robert Handley, perhaps the recruit of the year, and rover Richard Loveridge. The Hawks too have covered their bases, at least until this morning's Army Reserve Cup Grand Final, by naming veterans Knights, Eade, Buckenara, O'Halloran and Tuck on the interchange bench.
What a great sight it is. The MCG filled to capacity, looking down from above before we start this year's Grand Final. So from the players, while they may go through worry and concern during the week, just wondering if they're going to win a place in the final 20 of their respective sides, it's also a great week of concern, worry and anticipation for the men who control the game. The men in white, the umpires. Who will win this year's Grand Final? With that announcement, here once again is Peter Donegan.
Thank you, Sandy. Well, the men in white for today's big game are Peter Cameron and Ian Robinson. And firstly to you, Peter, your first Grand Final must be a great thrill.
Nothing like this. I've never had a feeling like this, and it's just one of a time. Amazing feeling.
Ian, this is your 8th now, so you know what it's all about. Does it get any easier as they go on?
Oh, it doesn't get any easier. In fact, I haven't had one for a few years. It's been a big challenge to get back up there again, so I'm very pleased.
The question we ask every year is who's going to take the first bounce?
Oh, Camo is. He doesn't know it yet, but he is.
Well, Peter, how do you feel about that?
That's called cooperation, I reckon. Yeah, that's the way it is. I look forward to that. That'll be great. Thanks, Doc.
How did you sleep last night finally, Peter?
Oh, terrific. This is. It's only been the last half hour. I've got a bit tired, but looking forward to it in a big way.
Gentlemen, congratulations and the best of luck to you both.
Thanks, Peter.
Thank you
Peter
very much.
Cameron and Ian Robinson, the men in white for today's Grand Final here at the MCG.
It's a great performance by the two umpires to be chosen. They certainly do go through a very, very hectic week. They are not informed until late in the week. And of course, it's their biggest day of the year as well as the players. And so we must say, on behalf of the football public, I know that the fans here, and no doubt they'll do it again today, they love to give the man in white what we call in Australia a traditional bagging. Because in the public's eye, the man in white, the umpire, is very rarely right. But once again, our congratulations go to those two gentlemen, and we certainly wish them well for what should be a great final. It's interesting to look back before we take a closer look at the two teams, just what they've done in the past couple of years. We first saw them 3 years ago in a grand final when Hawthorn, and it was then a very, very awesome Hawthorn side, who came out and rewrote the record books with a barnstorming win over Essendon. From that grand final day, Essendon coach Kevin Sheedy has taken it upon himself to repair the very, very severe damage that was done. And he made amends last year on this turf, on this day. A wonderful victory to the Bombers, their first premiership since the mid-60s. But now, today, they're trying to do something that hasn't been done for a side for, again, a number of years. And that is to win back-to-back premierships. The Essendon Bombers have been acknowledged throughout the year as undoubtedly the best team in the competition. They did have several hiccups. One, in fact, was the grand final of the night competition. On that occasion, Hawthorn proved successful. So, the Hawks say in their own words, we know that the Bombers can be beaten, and we hope to do it today. Well, there's a sudden boo and a sudden calm that's come over the ground because everyone can sense that the two sides are about to come out on the ground. And those followers of Hawthorn, it's the booing, feeling that Essendon may be first out on the ground. For the followers of Essendon, it's the other way round. Well, one man who hasn't felt the excitement of being on the MCG ground prior to a grand final before is one of our on-field reporters in Peter Donegan. And Pete, you can hear the noise around us at the moment. What do you think?
Sandy, this is one of the great moments in sport, I'm sure. For the players, I just can't imagine what they're feeling at the moment, because to be out here on the ground and to look all around us with over 100,000 people is just electrifying. You can feel it down here, and at 2:30 it's going to be great.
Thank you, Peter. Well, our commentary team is ready. It's headed by Peter Landy. Peter, good afternoon.
Thank you, Sandy, and a very good afternoon to you, and a very good afternoon to Peter Donegan. Good afternoon to Lou Richards. Good afternoon to Triple Brownlow medalist Bob Scoop.
Good afternoon, Pete.
Gentlemen, it's going to be a great day. It always is, the VFL Grand Final. Before we go into what Essendon might do, we know what Hawthorn is going to do, a surprise there. But we'll look at the teams shortly. Hawthorn are playing in their 9th Grand Final. Essendon, we're in the Essendon rooms at the moment, are playing in their 26th. Hawthorn have won 5, Essendon have won 13. If Essendon win this afternoon, they will equal the VFL record of Carlton. The two teams have met 5 times in a final. It's the 3rd time they've met in the Grand Final, 3 years in succession, and that's the first time that has happened in VFL history since the Page system of finals was introduced in 1931. The Hawthorn banner goes up, and it salutes their captain Lee Matthews, who today is playing his last game. The two sides have met 36 times since 1970, Hawthorn holding an advantage of 21 to 15. So the stage is set for what I think is going to be a memorable contest. Hawthorn taking out the reserve match here this afternoon, and that will certainly give the side a great boost as they prepare to tackle Essendon for the 3rd year in succession. The Bombers won in 1984, Hawthorn won in 83. Hawthorn, the first side out onto the MCG for the 1985 Grand Final. Bob Skilton, how do you see the two sides matching up?
Well, I think you've got to look at Essendon and say, well, they've won 19 out of 22 games coming into the finals. They truly beat Essendon in the final, and Essendon, they truly beat Hawthorn, I should say, and they, they certainly deserve to be a raging hot favourite. But I've got a feeling that Hawthorn have got everything to gain and nothing to lose. It wouldn't be the first time that the underdogs got up.
Well, I'll go along with that, Bob. Of course, Grand Finals are certainly different to any other game, Peter, and I've seen many Grand Finals, played in a couple, but I still get the lump in the throat and the tear in the eye when they run into the ground.
There's nothing like it, though.
Essendon, as Bob said, only lost 3 matches during the course of 1985, and that truly in itself was a splendid effort under the coaching of Kevin Sheedy. They are the team to beat, the hottest favourite for many, many years in the VFL competition. And we don't know who their side is going to be, Bob, but they did name 5 players on the bench. Looking through the rooms there,
Alan Ezard was there.
Ezard was warming up. Who
There he is in the back, but there he is with Kevin Sheedy now.
Who do you think will be on the bench?
I think they'll play Hurd, so I'm inclined to think that Ezard and Hurd will make up the 20 players.
Well, that room in there, Pete, would be unbelievable to be in that room getting ready to go into the ground. Hawthorn are out there, of course.
The hardest part, job that Sheedy would have had all year would have been telling which 3 players that they were not going to be there.
That's right, that'll be because they're so strong and they've been such versatile side. But that feeling they're going through now, you could just imagine, Pete and Bob, the adrenaline running through the veins of those players, and you can see them going through the pre-match exercises there, and by golly, they're raring to go, aren't they?
Yes, and Lou, if you needed motivation at this stage of the game, then there must be something wrong with you, because
That's right.
Both sides must be so G'd up at the moment. I don't think that anything the coach said would, really matter in many respects. I think the players would be above the moon, so to speak.
I think the coach's job, Peter, is to bring them back to earth again, to say, OK,
That's
just
exactly
take your
right.
time and calm down and don't do anything rash when you get onto the ground, because once the ball is bounced, it's no different to an ordinary game, but it's the build-up before the game that gets these tempers a bit frayed. And I think we could see a pretty rugged game for the first 10 or 15 minutes.
Yes, and a few mistakes usually occur in the first 10 minutes of a grand final. Bob Skilton, the selection of David O'Halloran for Hawthorn was, to my way of thinking, amazing. He hasn't played a senior game this year. What would be the thought in the Hawthorn Match Committee mind bringing O'Halloran into the side?
I think it would have been a case of that they believed in the semi-final that they lacked a bit of aggression, and David O'Halloran does have aggression. He has plenty of courage, and he may just give Hawthorn that little extra bit of aggression. But I do feel sorry for Rodney Eade, because
Yes.
I felt that last week Eade was a wonderful player for Hawthorn, and to be dropped from in the side after a performance like that, well, it's just bad luck. But you can only pick 20 players.
Well, I spoke to Don Scott just before we went on air, and Don Scott, the former champion of Hawthorn, suggested that Chris Mew may play at centre-half forward for Hawthorn. It'll be interesting to see if he does.
The best full-back in the competition at half forward?
I wouldn't, certainly. I'd leave him where he is.
I wouldn't, no, but then again, I think they're worried about their goal-kicking ability, and who knows, if O'Halloran's in the 20, I believe he will play.
Peter, as the Americans say, if it's not broken, don't mend it. Don't leave well alone.
Yes, I go along with that. Hawthorn out on the field, there is David O'Halloran, number 8, Rubber, as he is affectionately known, playing his first senior game for this year. Here come the Essendon side now. Like Hawthorn, taking the field for the 3rd year in succession in a VFL Grand Final.
Well, Lazard's there, Bob. We've got to pick up the other player that makes up the 20. It'd be interesting to see whether it's Donnell or I think you're inclined to think it'll be her.
I am inclined to think that, Lou, but who would know?
Well, we'll just try and pick Carey.
Carey is there, yes.
Well,
they might all be there at this stage, who knows?
Knowing Kevin Shedd will have the 21 players out there. I should imagine he'd do that. And it'll be interesting to see who picks up DP Domenico. It possibly would be Brian Wood, because he'd be the most vigorous.
He did a pretty good job against him in the semi-final, so I'd be inclined to think that Wood will be the player.
Well, I suppose, Peter and Bob, that the Bombers would be the hottest favourites in a grand final we've known for many, many years.
Possibly since Richmond in 74.
That's right. And of course, as Bob explained before, a grand final match is different to any other game. When we know the makeup of the Hawthorn football side, they'll go down fighting if they do lose this match, and it wouldn't be surprised if they did win it.
All right, a number of players out there that we certainly will be keeping our eyes on this afternoon. We'll get some comments from you, Bob Skill.
Yes, well, naturally, Rod Lester-Smith, the former Western Australian, has had a wonderful season for Hawthorn and did a pretty good job in voting in the Brownlow medal. Calm, cool and collected, and usually uses the ball very well. So Rod Lester-Smith will be a player to watch in this game. Lester-Smith at half-back. Dermot Brereton may not play centre-half forward if Chris Mew, as suggested, might go to there. But Dermot Brereton, when he's hot, he's hot. And Brereton is a real key to the Hawthorn side. When he fires, so too to the Hawks, and number 23 for Hawthorn would make a vital difference to this game. Anybody who plays in centre-half forward is playing in one of the tougher positions in the league. We mentioned Chris Mew because it is rumoured that he might play at centre-half forward, but I would doubt it. I think he'll be either centre-half back or full-back, and Mew is one of the best full-backs in VFL football. Whether he's at centre-half back or full-back, he's got a big task. Salmon of Essendon or as selected Merritt, either player will be tough to mind. And talking about toughness, there is no player that puts in more from a physical aspect than Terry Wallace. Not from a point of view of handing out bruises and bumps and everything else, but in the fact that he's always in there at the bottom of the pack. There has probably been no greater trier in football than Terry Wallace in recent years. Lee Matthews bowing out of football today, and when you talk about great players, then Lee Matthews is right up there with the very, very best of them. There hasn't been any better player over the years than Lee Matthews. Year in, year out, he has performed, and that is the hallmark of a champion. And in fact, Hawthorn may not have been in the game today had it not been for one quarter last week of Lee Matthews. For Essendon, we've got their number 1 ruckman, Simon Madden. Since taking over the mantle of number 1 ruckman, he has proven, I think, that at the moment he can justly be considered the best ruckman in the VFL today. Whether up in the ruck or at full forward or thereabouts, he's always dangerous. An excellent mark, a dangerous player, no matter where he might be. Timmy Watson's performance the other night in the Brownlow medal was nothing short of magnificent. Essendon, as a club, picked up 17 first votes and 16 second votes out of 22 games, and Timmy Watson bowled magnificently. He has put in a great season, and there is no finer player in the league. The marking power of Essendon, Paul van der Haar, is one of the players that really brings home the marking power of that side. Van der Haar, a very, very dangerous player, and if Hawthorn can curtail the aerial work of Van der Haar and the other players, then Shane Hurd, Frank Donnell, 2 of the players who may have been in the side today, just missed out. Merv Neagle, another one of the players, and so there is Merv was selected on the wing, will not be playing also, and that is bad luck for Essendon because he's a very, very dangerous player.
All right, the players are gathering downstairs for the toss, which will be made in just a couple of moments. Both teams lining up out there. Yes, Neagle, one of the best centre players in the VFL competition, Bob, and they sadly will miss him, won't they?
The dash of Neagle, the runs downfield, when he does gain possession, he tends to break up the forward line in a manner, break up the back line, I should say, in a manner that really does set up goals.
All right, our man on the ground is Peter Donegan, and Peter's going to tell us all about the toss and who wins it. Here he is.
And the toss has been won by Terry Danaher of Essendon. He'll be kicking to the Jollymont end. Terry Danaher winning the toss and kicking to the Jollymont end of the ground. And that, of course, is to the left-hand side of the screen. So first blood to Essendon with the toss of the corner.
Right, thank you very much, Peter. Any advantage to that end, Bob, from the reserves match as you saw it?
Oh, that's one great thing about the MCG, Pete. Because of the structure of the stands and everything else, you can score at both ends of the ground.
OK, well, as I mentioned, Hawthorn and Essendon have met 5 times in finals. They've now played in the last 3 grand finals. We look at some highlights of those.
It was the grand final of '83 that probably set up the fierce rivalry that has existed between Hawthorn and Essendon. The Bombers looked to coach Kevin Sheedy to lead them to victory and the club's first premiership since 1965. Instead, they met the greatest Hawthorn onslaught of all time. The Hawks were all-conquering and thrashed the Bombers by a staggering 83 points. Later, Sheedy was to publicly criticise his team for its poor performance, a tongue-lashing that stayed with his men well into the following season. By Grand Final Day 1984, Essendon were hell-bent on revenge and kept coming at the Hawks in what turned out to be another classic Hawthorn-Essendon confrontation. At the siren, the Bombers enjoyed a 24-point margin and the victory they had waited an entire year to earn. So now they meet again in what will go down in history as the decider, the 1985 VFL Grand Final.
And that concludes the preliminaries, and the stage is set for the 1985 VFL Grand Final. The marching girls are making their way off the MCG. The players going through further warm-ups. The set has been struck, or will be very shortly. The band marches off. Although it's going to be a late start, it's still going to be a very, very great game here this afternoon. Pretty hard to estimate the crowd. A couple of vacant seats virtually behind the big scoreboard at the City End goal, but to all intents and purposes, it is a full house. And I would imagine the crowd would be in the vicinity of 100,000.
It makes you feel great, Bob, to be at the ground. As I said before, it doesn't matter how many games you've played and how many games you see, every year is a different scene and you still get the same feeling about it, don't you?
There's a real buzz, Lou, that you have a grand final that you have at no other game. There is the Hawthorn Grange Trust, alongside them the Essendon Grange Trust, Hawthorn coached by Alan Jeans, Essendon by Kevin Sheedy. And the emotion that would be going through these players at the moment would be absolutely fantastic.
Players now taking up their positions. So Essendon will be kicking to the left in the opening quarter, and Hawthorn will be kicking to the right. Judging by the flags on top of the scoreboard, Essendon will be kicking to the end, favoured by the breeze, but the way it does swirl around the MCG stadium, it probably won't fade the rivalry.
Well, the Hawthorn benches are surprising. Russell Green and Ken Judge, Pete.
Judge, of course, spent the first quarter last week on the bench, Bob, didn't he? And then came on and kicked 4 goals.
Carey and Ezard for Essendon.
Perhaps that's not as surprising.
Well, Russell Green, Bob, hasn't played that well over the last few weeks. He showed a little bit better form last week.
Welcome back, all relay stations. The start of the match imminent. Umpires this afternoon, Ian Robinson, a veteran of 300 games, and Peter Cameron, who will be umpiring his first VFL Grand Final. Congratulations to both the men in white, and we certainly wish them the very best of luck this afternoon. What a pressure they have on them. Well, Halloran looks as though has lined up on Salmon. Brereton is at half forward. So that's certainly one surprise move. O'Halloran on Salmon.
And Chris Muir's gone to centre-half back, Peter, on Merritt. So they're the two key players. They're trying to cover here today for Essendon. Possibly the two most dangerous players.
So O'Halloran got the height for Salmon, Bob?
Well, it's hard to sell, Pete. I don't think anybody's got the height for Salmon, so you may have to try and play him a different way.
We'd be giving away about 14 to 15 inches, I would say, Pete. But he's a pretty vigorous player.
Well, if it doesn't come off, I dare say Chris Muir will be moved back there very quickly. Now, Brereton is moving around down to the goal square now, taking Walsh with him. First quarter on the 7 Network of the 1985 VFL Grand Final between Hawthorn and Essendon. I think we can expect some fireworks early. Madden gets the first tap out. Lee Matthews gets the first kick and puts Hawthorn into attack, tries to find Brereton. In goes Bomber Thompson, just about threw it out. Brereton got one too high, and he'll take the first free kick of the game.
There's no doubt about that one. Brereton coming through, and it was not a good tackle at all from Thompson. I think we might find a few head-high tackles early in this game.
I reckon you would, and the tempers are a little bit frayed because of this tremendous emotion that builds up before the game, Peter.
Dermot Brereton about 30 metres out, directly in front of goal. He'd be pretty nervous. That should help a few of the nerves because he put it through for a goal. The first goal of the match coming up to Hawthorn, and that came up inside the minute of the first quarter.
One might say that it was justice to think that the first kick of the game came from the player playing his last game of football, and that being Lee Matthews. He got the ball down. On replay now we watch as Brereton puts the ball through. The first score of the game, 1 goal to Hawthorn.
Lee Matthews, a veteran, bring over 300 games. Today, the last time he'll be wearing the brown and gold. Hawthorn by 6 points. Knocked down by Langford. Baker got one at the back. Will get the free kick. Was it going to Hawker? No, he's given it to Baker. Baker short of centre field to put Essendon into attack for the first time. Down to half forward. Knocked away by Morris. Morris looking for a free kick or a 15-metre penalty. Wiser heads, I think, should prevail because Williams has the free kick for Essendon. He's gone for a short pass. It's a bad one. And the mark taken by Chris Muir.
Must be 15 metres.
You would think so. He has brought it back. He has brought it back.
He's not going to give 15 metres.
Well, that is very puzzling. It was either play on all 15 metres. One would have thought, Lou.
I would have thought so, Pete, but still, we can't change the decision into this quarter by just over 2 minutes. Hawthorn off to a great start, and Lee Matthews playing his last game. Got the ball out of the centre beautifully at the first bounce, Bob.
Certainly did, Lou, and I think it was justice that Matthews got the first kick in his last game of football.
Well, he's been one of the greatest players we've had for many years. The ball kicked well over the centre line. It's a long one, punched out by Madden. Goes after the ball again. As they go for Baker, he's grabbed. Madden gets one high. Out it comes again. Picked up by Thompson. A short pass out to Wood. It's too long, but there's not a Hawthorn player within a mile there. Gives him a chance to drive it down to Danaher and Morris. Danaher knocks it on, looking for Merritt. Going into Merritt's back that time was Swab, but well tackled that time. It'll be play on. It'll be a free kick now. The umpire calling play on as Russell Morris drives it out there towards the wing position, the back fly. There'll be plenty of mistakes in this first quarter. And they're having a go again. We tip this. This will be on for Young and Old before it's over.
Baker and McCarthy.
Well, they're going in now, and Hawthorn are not taking any funny business today. Look at them going in, piling in there. Players falling over left and right. You pick it up and you'll find the fighters there.
Matthews and Watson.
Look at them piling up. This is the best I've ever seen in a grand final, Bob. I can't recall.
One like this,
Look good. Oh, golly, Peter. Talk about stacks on the mill. You've never seen anything like this. How they'll unravel them, I don't know, Peter.
Well, there could be every player on the ground is involved, and you could book the whole two sides, Bob, couldn't you? You really could book the whole two sides.
Yes, you certainly could, and if they're going to start reporting, they'll be writing for quite a while, so it could be a long quarter.
And they need a couple more new books, wouldn't they?
Trainers coming out to try and cool a few heads, but as you said, not really surprising. Bertie Di-Domenico seemed to be quite happy because he was smiling when the boundary umpire took his number, so obviously he was hit.
Well, Pete, I heard
one wouldn't know who to report. No. The whole point in this.
You'd be a bit unlucky, wouldn't you?
In a situation like that, when most players are involved, anybody who is picked out is certainly unlucky.
I heard on the grapevine before the game that Hawthorn weren't going to take any funny business today. If Essendon started to dish it, they'd bounce back.
Well, I don't know who started that.
Well, we're not saying who started it, but that was the little bit of a tip that I got. It certainly looks as though it's going to be on for Young, and they'll settle down after quarter time, I would say.
He's getting a free kick. Dear oh dear.
Well, the Hawthorn fans not too happy about that. There's the kick well over the half-forward line. And a mark taken here by Danaher out there at half-forward, about 60 metres out from goal. Of course, Hawthorn off to a great start there. 1 goal, 6 points, a short pass. No one can take that mark. Another stack up. I'd hate to be in the middle of that mess. You wouldn't want to go on the ground today, Bob. You'd get up pretty quickly, wouldn't you?
I'd be happy to be out there at any time, Lou.
I think you would, Bob. During the pre-match luncheon, I think you were champing at the bit. Now Hawthorn's free kick, not well delivered. Deeply to Domenico and Wood. Birdie sidesteps in nicely. He's gone for a short pass down towards Handley on right centre wing. Handley, good tackle, folds. Loose ball on centre wing, picked up by Glenn Hawker. Hawker's kick is a short one, and again not well delivered, and it'll be a mark and or free kick, whatever. Going to Michael Tuck, the ball will have to come back, of course. Did Tuck start on the bench, Bob, or was he out there?
No, it was Judge and Green on the bench.
Try and pick up where he's playing. He seems to be a loose man in defence at the moment. Tuck up to right half forward, knocked away by Walsh. Putting his body in deeply to Domenico. He's got a free kick for a high tackle. Oh, he could have reversed that. Russo. Bad kick, Madden. Former Essendon captain. Takes the mark at centre half back. Straight, long, left footer. Danaher got high, couldn't take the mark. Snapped up by Elshaw. Elshaw down to half forward for Essendon. Ball bounces, favours Baker, now it favours Mew. Mew cool in the crisis. Long kick. McCarthy went for the knock-on, had a fresh air shot, picked up by Brian Wood, having a few touches so far in the opening quarter. Wood's kick out towards right half forward. Merritt in the Howard. Howard showing him a clean pair of heels. Wallace on centre wing, he'll put Hawthorn into attack.
And the kick is back towards centre half forward. Over it goes now, picked up by Matt. He goes down pretty quickly. Wood can't get out. The umpire said, "Drop in the ball." A free kick to length, but they mean business here today. Hawthorn, I've never seen the Hawks so ferocious. The ball over the half forward line. Up to Brereton and Walsh punched out. It'll be a free kick to Brereton on the shoulder.
That's Tiggy.
Well, I think that free kick was there. There was interference, and the umpires were quick to pick it out.
I think you'll find it was well, there it is there, well before the ball actually came down. Right. No doubt about the free kick.
So it's Brereton going for goal number 2 from about 25 metres out, if that just about directly in front. This will give Hawthorn a great start and build up their confidence no end. There it is. It'll be another goal for Brereton. So it's Hawthorn, 2 goals, 12 points to Essendon, yet to score into this quarter by 7.5 minutes.
You could say the move of Burton to full forward has certainly been successful. 2 goals so far. Duckworth now is down there against him. Walsh was on him, as we watch on replay now, and it comes through as Brian Wood and Birdie Di Domenico, and Wood with a cut eye.
Back in the centre again. Hawthorn firing pretty well in this first, just on 8 minutes of the first quarter of the 1985 Grand Final. They're 2 goals, 12 points. Langford doing pretty well in the ruck against the big fella there, Matt, but a mark to Vanderhow. He quickly plays on. The umpire may have called play on. Spinning out of the pack was Kennedy, was well grabbed by Watson. Handley runs into 3-4 Essendon players. Watson with brilliant play. Gets around an opponent, then goes for a short pass. Over it goes to Elshaw. The Bombers go back into attack over their half-forward line. A centre half-forward. Flying high was Madden. Beautiful mark.
Great mark to Madden. And this boy can certainly take a mark or two. He's gone for a pass, and it's okay. Harvey, left forward pocket. He'll bring up Essendon's first score. Unless he decides to go for a pass, of course.
Notice that Wood's got a pretty nasty cut on the eye too, Pete.
I don't think he's the only one out there with a couple of cuts after that all-in Malay on the outer wing. So Harvey should be able to get a goal from there, only about 15 metres out. And he has. First goal to Essendon, kicked by Mark Harvey. That came up at the 9-minute mark of the first quarter. Hawthorn by 6 points.
Very happy Essendon fan. Saluting that great goal by Harvey. And the youngster, only 19 years of age, really showing how great a player he is. That's an excellent goal under pressure.
Watch it again from another angle. As I said, he was only 15 metres out, but on a fair angle, but it never looked like missing. Back into the centre, Hawthorn by 6 points, 9.5 minutes gone. Matthews, kick number 2, looking for Lester Smith. Oh, missed him, or did he get him? It's a mark and a free kick, possibly a free kick. Rod Lester Smith looks like possibly playing at half forward or on the flank. Walsh, good defence.
Well, Van der Haas certainly in defence.
I can't understand that, Bob, because at this early stage of the match, he's just about their most brilliant forward.
Well, they're playing one short up the forward line, Lou, and that is a surprise.
McCarthy knocks it down, picked up by Kennedy, can't get clear. In fact, he could almost be penalised for holding the ball. In fact, he has been. Free kick will go to Paul Van der Haar, one of the veterans in the Essendon side. Madden, name on it. Madden up towards centre field.
Other way, Pete. Other way against Merritt.
That's right, he was hanging onto his opponent's shoulder that time. He's got the free kick.
Well, shame, because Essendon were looking good there with a very promising forward move. Certainly nothing against the Essendon skipper.
It was against Merritt.
Long ball up to Brereton. Brereton and Walsh. Brereton a flyer at the back. They're hard to take from there. Picked up by Watson. Watson for Nobby Clark. Clark, short pass up towards the left centre wing position. Weston. And for Hawthorn it was Morris, but it's out of bounds on the centre wing position. It will be a boundary throw in at the 11-minute mark.
And it's about 75 metres around from the Essendon goal. They're 1 goal, 6 points to Hawthorn, 2 goals, 12 points. The first quarter of the 1985 grand final. Langford and Merritt go for that. They both Smith it. Back it comes to West. That's smothered by his own teammate Williams, and the ball is forced out of bounds again. Still on the centre wing position, about 75 metres around from the Essendon goal. Ball back into play. Langford and Merritt. Down goes Langford. Merritt gets this one. Doesn't know where to go now. He's clear after running into Clark. The ball bounces the wrong way from 2 players. It's finally picked up by Russell Morris over to Matthews. Matthews back to Mew. His kick is a hurried one out towards the wing position. Lester Smith nearly marked that. He'll get a free kick for in the back. So he's off to a good start today. Lester Smith, a short pass. Bit of fumbling going on by both sides. A good hand pass by Loveridge. Out it comes to Tuck. Always a dangerous player over to Wallace. A long kick looking for Brown, but he's pretty well covered by Walsh. Oh, he's really got the mark. No, he's not. Is he playing it? I think he's playing the mark to Brown. He's got a chance to kick 3 goals. He's already kicked 2, their first 2.
Watch it again.
Oh, golly, that was a great mark, Bob.
He was out of position. It looked as though he had no chance. And
2,
no
3.
doubt about the mark.
And they've got the Bombers a little bit rattled at the moment with their ruggedness, aggressiveness. The ball is through for another goal. That's his third. So it's Hawthorn, 3 goals, straight 12, 18 points. To Essendon, 1 goal, 6 points.
I think they've caught the Essendon defence a little bit unawares, Lou. The move of Brereton down to full forward, as we watch on replay, the mark once again. The move of Brereton to full forward has, and moving out, of course, Dunstall, not quite out to centre half forward. And now we see Terry Danaher coming down to full back against Brereton, and Walsh to be moved to the forward line.
Well, he certainly moves them around, Shooty. Danaher down there onto Brown has already kicked their first 3 goals and looking as though he's a match winner. 13 minutes gone of this first quarter of the 1985 grand final. Because it's nothing new, Bob, for Shooty to move them all over the place.
He has been known to move them around a little bit.
I'd reckon Walsh has gone to the forward line. 13 minutes gone of the first quarter. Hawthorn 3 straight shots for goal, 18 points to Essendon 6 points. Bit of juggling going on as Ayres gets the ball back over Hawthorn's half-forward line. Knocked on that time by Thompson. Back to Weston in plenty of trouble.
Free kick, Essendon.
He got one a bit high, and Weston got it on the head and he'll get a free kick. Out there at half-back. Goes for a short pass. Not a good one, but Roger Merritt there over to Williams. Williams' kick is upended by Matthews. It'll be unfair. I think the umpire was wrong that time, and it shook him up, Williams.
That's what you call ticky-tack with free kick.
Oh, I'd reckon that was a fair enough one. There was nothing much that Matthews could do. Just as he kicked it, well, this is a charity goal, I would say, to Weston. If it comes off to Madden, that'll be Salmon to take the kick. That shook Williams up a bit, that bump from Matthews.
It was a beautiful hip and shoulder. That's the way football should be played.
He's only about 35 metres out from goal directly in front, and a chance for Essendon's second goal. There it is on its way now.
It's a goal.
And it's a goal, so it's Essendon now moving on. So 2 goals, 12 points. Hawthorn, 3 straight shots for goal 18, so they're getting very active at the moment, Bob.
It's great to see in the grand final, Lou. 5 kicks, 5 goals, as we watch again on replay. And I think to play downfield from one as close as that, to me, is what I term Tiggy Touchwood.
So Matthews signalling to the bench, or the runner. 6 points the difference in favour of Hawthorn. 15 minutes gone, first quarter. Plenty of free kicks being dished out in the opening term. Perhaps not surprising. That's one again going to Essendon. Madden over to Clark. Clark long to half forward, knocked away by Chris Mew. And Burton and Danner having a bit of a box on down in the goal square at the other end. But we'll stay with the football for just a moment. Picked up by Chris Mew.
Baker copped a decent one on that one in that incident too.
Dunstall marks at half forward. Now Danaher and Brewer will be better advised to get on with the play because the ball's coming down that way pretty quickly. Now they do. Kennedy. Well, certainly a torrid opening, Bob. Not entirely unexpected.
No, it's one of those things that happens in grand finals. When it shouldn't happen, but it does happen.
I think wiser heads would or should prevail. Let's hope so. Matt Brereton.
Brereton should have been given a free kick for holding the man then.
Yes, well, the umpire didn't see it.
I think at the moment, Bob, that Essendon are a little bit shocked by the aggression shown here by Hawthorn.
Yes, and the movement around, moving Weston up the field, and it's the move of Brereton down to full forward has really caught Essendon a little bit unawares, I do believe.
Lovely smothered then by Handley. Results in a boundary throw in right forward pocket for Hawthorn. Watch that smother again. Knocked down by Madden. Picked up by, I think it was Foles. The smother was on. Booted away by Elshaw. Bounce favours Schwab. Looks for a free kick. None there, says the umpire. And it will be a bounce at Hawthorn's right half forward flank, about 50 metres from their goal. Terry Wallace being spoken to by Ian Robinson.
Well, he pushed Elshaw on the chest, as if to say, look, don't you start standing over anyone here, or you'll get one for your corner.
A bounce. Right half forward flank for Hawthorn. Knocked away by Madden. Can't find a bomber, though. Picked up by Wallace. Wallace over to Matthews. Deep here to Medico. Looks for a long hand pass. It's a good one to Ayres. The back pocket player has a shot at goal. It's swinging around. He's put it through, I think, for a goal. No, he hasn't. It's a point, but it was very close. I don't know what Ayres was doing down there, Bob, but he's possibly followed a man.
I don't think he's playing in the back pocket, Pete. I think you might even find he's either half-back flank or wing, or just following Hawker wherever Hawker goes.
And that's the first behind of the match. It came up at the 17-minute mark. Now the ball's back into play, is it again? No. Take 3.
Well, there's only one player down there on the Essendon forward line, or 2 players. That's the O'Halloran and Salmon.
Danaher finally does kick the ball in. He's looking for Madden. Langford's there with him, just about outmarked him. Should have tried the punch initially, perhaps. Picked up by Wallace. Wallace's kick is a short one. Danaher and Brereton. Brereton's got it again. Can he make it goal number 4? He's gone for a hand pass. Over to Matthews in the back, surely. That's a goal. Or will it be a free kick?
Free kick to Matthews.
And you've got to give full marks to Matthews. Got the first kick of the match that got Hawthorn going, and he's back there in business again now, Bob.
There's no doubt it was a free kick, Lou. You just cannot tackle in that manner. It wasn't a good tackle by Van der Haar.
Matthews has put it through for a goal. That's his first, and Hawthorn's 4th. Hawthorn 4-1-25. Essendon 2 goals, 12 points.
Still a great start to this game. Essendon with 2 goals on the board. Hawthorn 4 goals, 1, and that's the way the attacking has been. Hawthorn have had most of the play, and I just repeat that I think they caught Essendon unawares with their forward moves.
Well, we're just on the 19-minute mark of this first quarter. 13 points the difference in favour of Hawthorn. They've surprised everybody. Essendon starting this match at short favourites, very short favourites. Back it comes now to Watson. He gets through the back, then he loses it. He slung out of the pack and the umpires found a free kick to him. He might have acted a bit, but he got the free kick. So Watson's got a chance now to send the Bombers deep into attack, and they badly need a goal. Looking for Salmon, coming out. O'Halloran's got him well guarded. He pushed him in the back. Yes, he spotted that. There was no doubt about that free kick. It was there all the way. And of course, he's at a decided disadvantage. O'Halloran giving away about 15 inches. Oh, golly, pushed him fair square in the back. So Salmon.
There's no sense in that one. No,
he's already kicked one goal.
Walsh coming off the ground, Ezard on.
He's already kicked one goal, the big fellow. He's only about 30 metres out on a slight angle, taking plenty of time to line him up. There it is. But he's off target this time. And it's through for 1 point. So at the 20-minute mark of the first quarter, it's 2 goals, 1-13 Essendon to Hawthorn 4-1-25. Walsh off the ground. There's a hand pass coming out now to Swab. He could be in trouble. He's grabbed, he's lost that, but Tuck's there to back him up. They were a bit lucky that time, Hawthorn. There's a go for Baker on his own and takes a good mark out there at half-forward. So a big chance now for the Bombers to go back into attack. The lead by Salmon. It's too long, and coming through is Mew with beautiful style. A hand pass over to Ayres. Back it goes to Lester Smith. Out there wide, picked up by Russo. Gets a hand pass back. Hawthorn looking good as McCarthy gives it back to Russo again. And he'll go for the long. Will he go for a hand pass, which he does, over to Wallace? That's a hurried kick. Duckworth couldn't get clear. In goes Weston. He's grabbed a hand pass to Foles. The ball comes back now to Vanderhaar, flying, and he's got the mark out there at half back. They were lucky to get away with that, Essendon.
They manned up well, though, just the same. Vanderhaar looks for Thompson. He's found him. Well, played on too high the tackle, though. Whoa! Oh! Well,
he did play on.
I know, but I thought the tackle was a bit high.
He might have ducked his head.
I think in a case like that, you give the player doing the tackling some sort of advantage as Matthews pushes in the back.
Ryan Wood went through pretty solidly, but it's not a free kick to him. It's going to Baker at half-back. Baker chips it in short. He's looking for Elshaw. He's found him. Elshaw on his own. In fact, there's not a player within 25 metres. Long kick by the former Demon. Looking for Merritt. Oh, good mark. Merritt looking to get the ball moving quickly. And 15-metre penalty. And that brings him well within kicking distance. Or did he not pay that?
Yes, it's
he
15
did pay
metres.
15.
A very short 15. He wouldn't like to buy real estate off him. Short pass. I don't know whether it was intended for Madden, but he's got it.
Yes, it
certainly was. A lovely pass.
And Madden has taken 4 marks.
A little bit lax there, Hawthorn.
Yes.
Let Madden get on his own.
So I think Langford thought that he was going to go for the kick at goal, and so went down there to try and help out against Salmon.
Now, Madden, a very accurate kick at goal as a rule, and he's only about 20 metres out, maybe a fraction more. No mistake about that one, Simon. He's put that through for a post. Hit the post.
Right on the top, Pete.
Yes, it hit that little button right on the top of the post. So extremely bad luck for Essendon. 14 plays 25. Hawthorn by 11 points. O'Halloran looking for a lead across the half-back line. Ball's got plenty of height, not too much distance. Straight to Roger Merritt. Must be a mark to Merritt.
There's Mew making the mistake of going for the mark from behind.
And could have got 15 metres. Yes, he has. Very silly, Chris Mew.
I don't think Cameron saw that. I think that Merritt could have taken that one. I think Merritt put it right over the umpire.
I reckon.
Good luck to him. Pays to think. If he can put it over the umpires, well and good. And he is directly in front of goal, so he should be able to put this through.
Probably the most valuable big man in the game too, Pete.
He's very versatile, and people say he's slow, but I tell you what, he's not as slow as a lot of people would imagine. Merritt. Shot at goal. That's through. No doubt about that one. A poor defence by Hawthorn. Merritt in for the goal. Essendon come within 5 points. 3-2 to 4-1 in the 85 grand final.
There's nothing at all in this game, and as we watch the replay of the kick from behind the goals, there's no mistaking that. Merritt doesn't miss too many shots when he has a direct kick at goal, and I do believe he put that one over umpire Peter Cameron.
23 and a half minutes gone. Only 5 points the difference. The Bombers bounce back. Centre bounce. 5 points the difference. The ball comes back to the centre. They're all throwing themselves at each other there, and the umpire's found a free kick. It'll go to Loveridge. That first 10 minutes of play in this grand final was really hectic as the ball goes out wide. It's too long for Mew going after. Mew is Hawker. Both having a great tussle. Good play on the part of New. Gets the ball back there. A charge for Bacon. A mark. That was a courageous effort. This fellow seems to lift his game in the finals, Bob.
Oh, he's a big occasion player, Leon Baker.
I noticed he was limping going back there. Let's hope for the Bombers' sake that he's okay. Short pass to Hawker. Goes for a pass again. Oh, Watson copped a heavy one. The umpire said it's on the show. He's called the advantage rule here as Williams drives it up there looking for Sam, and he flies. Couldn't hold the mark. He actually knocked his own man down. Oh, Morris dropped that one. Tapped on by Langford out the swap. They could get out of danger. Here they have. Over to Hawthorn. It was a surprise selection here today after DPL a minute ago on his own, and Purdy's got a chance to go for a big hand pass. Over it goes to Kennedy, ran wide into Thompson, and it'll be Holden. Oh, he's called play on, the ball back again, and Foles takes a good mark down there in defence. The Bombers starting to look a little bit better now. They're more settled as the ball goes out wide to Duckworth and Merritt. Oh, they knocked each other over there, but Duckworth has got the mark. He's going to say something to Merritt too.
But he did.
There wasn't much talking going on there, Bob.
Well, it's not Merritt or Duckworth to be blamed, it's the other players in the vicinity.
Up it goes now over the half-forward line. Tapped on again by Batten. Over it goes to Rezard. His kick is well swung that time by Lester Smith, and the ball is out of bounds. About 40 metres around from the Essendon goal, and they're trailing by 5 points, 3-2-20 to Hawthorn. 4 goals, 1-25 at the 25.5-minute mark of this first quarter of the 1985 Grand Final.
Boundary throw it into the forward pocket, and the Bombers have got another free kick on their forward line for a high tackle, I think that was, and it will be Merritt again, or is he giving it to a teammate in Watson? It's going to be Watson's kick. So plenty of frees being handed out on the forward line. Matthews got one from a free, so did Brereton. And Merritt got a 15-metre penalty, which enabled him to go. Watson, 30 metres out, on a slight angle. Puts it through for another one. The Bombers in front for the first time in the 85 Grand Final, and they hit the lead at the 26-minute mark of the quarter. 1 point in favour of Essendon.
Well, but I think we've seen a more hectic start to a Grand Final than what we've had here today for a long, long time.
It is quite a while, Lou, as we watch on replay, and that free kick, a little hard to see, but nonetheless the umpire's in a better position than we are.
26.5 minutes have gone. Essendon by 1 point after that goal to Timmy Watson. That was his first, and Essendon getting the ball out of the centre through the agency of a free kick. Williams takes the hand pass. They could get another one here. Big Salmon. Mark, no. Dropped it at the last minute. Watson burrows in to try and come out with the ball, but it will be a bounce, as umpire Ian Robinson, about 20 metres out from the Essendon goal. The Bombers looking a much better side in the last 10 minutes after the opening onslaught. Salmon and Langford. Down by Langford, actually picked up by Michael Tuck. Couldn't get a clear kick at the ball. Down go Morris and Williams. Ayres, where's he hooked that? Back to Loveridge. Loveridge onto Morris. Oh, too high.
Oh God, I'll tell you what, Merritt hit him pretty hard then.
And Williams will give away another 15-metre penalty if he's not careful. What's that again? Oh, whack.
I'll play the free kick.
I reckon I would.
Ayres at centre field. Matthews is his target, and he's just about got that. Matthews, the umpire says no. Thompson, beautifully done. Clark, centre field, long kick. Essendon's half-forward line. Ezard, good mark, strong grab.
15-metre penalty here again, Pete.
Well, they're giving away some foolish ones now.
Well, that's the wrong spot to give them away. They're half-forward.
On the forward line, well, Merritt got a goal from a 15-metre penalty, and Ezard is almost in the same spot, perhaps a little bit further out, so he's decided to go for a pass. Bad defence from Hawthorn. Salmon was on his own. There wasn't a Hawthorn player within 15 metres.
This fella's starting to look very dangerous to me, Bob. He hasn't done that much yet, but he's looking dangerous.
You just can't understand a player like Salmon being left alone, can you?
Sure. So Salmon taking the usual time to kick it. Should get the distance from there. He's about 45 metres out and a very accurate kick at goal. That's not bad. 1 point. So he's kicked 1 goal, 2 so far, Paul Salmon. And I'm wondering if Alan Jeans is having thoughts about moving Chris Mew down there. Essendon by 2 points as we approach the 29-minute mark of the quarter.
I think he may have moved Chris Mew down there already, Pete, as the ball goes over the centre half back position, comes out now to Wood. A beautiful hand pass to Matt. He runs around in a big circle there to get onto his left foot. Looking for Salmon again. Sights him, taps it out beautifully to Williams. but Williams has spoiled the kick. It's a shocker and through for 1 point. That was magnificent play on the part of Salmon then.
It's excellent play, Lou. He made no attempt to go for the mark, and you can see that it's just like a tap from the centre bounce.
That's what makes Rovers look good, that sort of ruck work. Never noticed the Rovers thanking them either. Ball back into play by O'Halloran. Out there to centre half back. Morris has got a chance, but spoiled by Wood over to Madden. Back there again towards Elshaw. Kicked off the ground by O'Halloran. Coming out to meet it as Watson. Shows a lot of pace. Too much for Langford. Goes for short pass to Merritt. He's got the mark. Well up there to the kick-off mark, and they're starting to look mighty strong now.
Beautiful play by Watson, Lou.
Great play. Doesn't like a barrack for Essendon.
You want to be careful before the day's out.
I'll tell you what. There's the pass again, Bob.
Yes, it was a wonderful play by Watson. He made no attempt to have a shot at goal. He knew there was only a rough chance that he'd kick it from the boundary, and he just picked out Merritt, who lines up now for his second goal.
And he's only about 7 metres out from goal, directly in front, just about. He'd have to fall over to miss this one. There it is on its way. It's a goal. So the bomb is starting to fire now at the 30-minute mark of this first quarter of the 1985 Grand Final. 5 goals, 4-34. Hawthorn 4-1-25. I think they were a bit shell-shocked early, Essendon, because of the aggression shown by Hawthorn, but they're settling down a bit better now.
Oh, they've settled down well, Lou, and he's the man that I think spells the real danger. In fact, two of the players, Watson and Merritt, spelled danger for the Hawks.
Yes, with a capital D. Essendon looking good, 5-4 to 4-1. Shortest priced favourite since 1974. A little bit of a shock in the opening 10 minutes, but they're looking the goods at the moment. Free kick going Hawthorn's way this time. It will be taken by one of their veterans in Michael Tuck. Maybe playing his last game, we don't know. Short pass from Tuck finds Gary Ayres at half forward. Long way from goal though, couldn't possibly score from there. Brereton and Danaher, the mark is taken by McCarthy. He almost shepherded out. It was a good skipper. Hawthorn hasn't scored since the 18-minute mark. We're now at the 31.5-minute mark. So, as you've judged by the comments, it's been all Essendon in the past 12 minutes or so. McCarthy should be able to remedy that. And what's he done with that one? It's a goal. McCarthy putting through his first of the afternoon, and a badly needed one for Hawthorn. 5-4 to 5-1. Essendon by 3 points.
As Alan Jeans comes down to get prepared for his quarter-time address, and we watch on replay a lovely mark by McCarthy coming across the front, and the body of Brereton between he and Danaher gave Danaher no chance of punching the ball away.
32 minutes gone in the first quarter. Essendon lead by 3 points, 34 to 31 in the 85 Grand Final. Mammoth punch away by Madden, but there's a free kick.
Playing pretty well around the ground, Madden, but I think Langford's doing fairly well against him in the ruck, Bob.
I'd have to give it to Madden. Could easily have been a free kick against Essendon, but Hawthorn with a poor piece of disposal, not taking advantage of that play.
Yes, Duckworth has the mark at centre half back. Duckworth wide towards half forward. Madden again. That's 7 marks.
He's looking for
5 marks to Madden. He's about best on the ground. Here's another 15-metre penalty on Essendon's forward line.
Pete, you can afford to give them away on the half-back line, but not down there.
Oh, here's a goal to Izzard. Put down your glasses, folks. Great roving by the little redhead. And Bluey puts it through. I reckon he's a relation of John Fitzsimmons, our director, that guy. 40 to 31. Essendon by 9.
If he doesn't fall over the belt, he gets that excited.
Not good defence that time. Morris and every other Hawthorn player all concentrating on getting the ball away from Salmon. They were all up in the air. And as we watch on replay now, the shot from behind the goals, there's Morris up in the air and his opponent just waiting down for it.
Alan Jeans looking a little bit worried at the moment. 33.5 minutes gone. That's a pretty long quarter, but in view of the fight we had at about the 10-minute mark, I'm not really surprised. Play on call, Williams stops it.
Holding the ball, Pete.
Now another wrestle we have between Williams and who's on the bottom of that?
Well, there could be 10 minutes of time up because that bit of a wrestle we had over there before took about 5.
Lester Smith has just gotten laid out, and he will take a free kick. I think after all that judge came on for Hawthorn.
Into the quarter by just on 34 minutes. That's out wide towards the boundary line. That's the siren when the First quarter of the 1985 Grand Final, and Essendon score 6 goals, 440 to Hawthorn. 5 goals, 131.
Second quarter of the 1985 VFL Grand Final from the MCG. Essendon leading by 9 points, 41 plays 30, possibly could have been more. Langford and Madden. Madden's been brilliant so far for Essendon. 5 marks and 7 possessions. Schwab goes for the knock-on, tries to find Matthews. In comes Watson. Shows him a clean pair of heels, but the kick is atrocious and marked by Michael Tuck at the left half-back flank. Tuck looking for a lead across the centre line. Wood and Domenico. Brian Wood almost took a great mark. Domenico comes down, hits it straight out of bounds. Arguably deliberate, but it won't be a free kick. Boundary throw it on the centre wing. Madden again. Wallace. Snack up developing there. Again, we'll see a bounce umpire Peter Cameron coming in pretty quickly to affect that. No further addition to the score since quarter time. Langford and Madden. Thompson seemingly caught. No free kick again. Very close to the boundary line, picked up by Williams. Chance for Thompson. One of Essendon's most consistent players on his own, Michael Tuck. Merritt, late on the scene, palms it down beautifully to Elshaw. Elshaw with a long shot. Salmon got the sit easily over O'Halloran and had his name on it. Decides to play on, he's gone for a hand pass. Harvey, goal number 2, Essendon, brilliant.
I think I would have personally paid a free kick to Michael Tuck, and I felt that Merritt gave a free kick away, coming across and tapped the ball away, but there was a beautiful mark by Salmon. One grab, and when you're that height...
He just had to stand there, Bob, didn't he, really?
Yes, but you know, you've still got to be in position, you've still have to hold them, and it was a lovely mark by Salmon.
Essendon lead by 15 points now in the 85 Grand Final, 7-4 to 5-1. We're at the 2-minute mark of the second term.
Centre bounce again. The Bombers starting to look good. Madden dominating the ruck as Matthews tries to get through the pack. Couldn't get a kick that time. Still plenty of scrimmaging going on, and the umpire will ball it up. As I said before, Salmon is looking mighty dangerous to me. Madden against Langford. Knocked out that time by Langford. Back it comes to Watson. Ran into a brick wall. Couldn't get clear. Langford couldn't get his kick out. Finally it comes out now to Thompson. Shows too much strength for Matthews. A long hand pass. A dangerous one. Kicked off the ground smartly that time by Fowles. Fowles brushes Hanley off. Nearly gave a free kick. A long hand pass from Robbie Clark looking for Williams. And Fowles actually got in the way that time, and he goes over the boundary line pretty quickly. And the ball is out of bounds up towards Hawthorn's half-forward line, about 80 metres around from their goal. They're 15 points in front at the 3-minute mark of the second quarter of the 1985 Grand Final, knocked out by Lester Smith. Back it comes here now, a chance for Duckworth to get clear, but he was grabbed too high by Hanley, and he'll get a free kick out there at half-back. So it's Duckworth with the free kick. Not a player down there on Hawthorn's forward line at all. The ball goes back there towards the centre of the ground. That's Madden. Oh, right over the top of Domenico. Over to Watson. And the Bombers go deep into attack, looking for Salmon once again. The big fella got his hands to it. Back it goes to Merritt. Tries to crash through the pack, but lost it. Tuck with a hand pass to Matthews. Over it goes to Ayres. A little bit slow, but he's still got his kick out wide. It was under a bit of strain. Coming in to meet it now was Duckworth. Goes for a pass. Picked up on the half volley that time by Hawker. A beautiful hand pass over to Watson. Short pass. Back it comes to Thompson. Thompson with a hand pass to Madden. Short pass. It'll be okay. Izzard's got it. And they're starting to look pretty strong now, the Bombers.
Lovely teamwork by Essendon on that occasion. He really started with a poor piece of disposal by Hawthorn, and then Duckworth got it down, and Essendon from there played superb teamwork.
Izzard has already kicked one goal, going for goal number 2 from about 30 metres out directly in front. What's he done with that one? 1 point. So the Bombers move on to 7 goals, 5:47 to Hawthorn 5-1-31. 4.5 minutes gone of this second quarter.
David O'Halloran Surprise inclusion in the Hawthorn side today. His first senior game for the year. Kicks the ball back. In front is Morris. The ball tapped down, picked up by Wallace. Oh, Kennedy's pulled an easy one. Hawthorn needing some scoring pretty quickly. Folds. Traps it well. Beautifully done, Gary Folds. Knocked back by Kennedy. Wallace sidesteps nicely. Short pass. Deep to Beneco on his own. Shoots out the hand pass. McCarthy. Duckworth. Clark. Out of bounds. Boundary throw in. Right half forward flank for Hawthorn.
The Bombers really going after him now, Bob.
Yes, Essendon have really settled down, Lou, from that initial burst by Hawthorn. And Hawthorn are renowned for starting early, and they really need a goal at this stage.
Or 3 or 4. That was a throw, says the umpire. That was against Thompson. Free kick will go to Kennedy. Kennedy fair way from goal, about 50 metres.
What a goal here now, Pete, to put them back in business, just to lift the spirit of it.
Yes, the spirit would be flagging more than slightly at the moment, Lewis, I think. Kennedy 50 metres out, right half forward flank, fair angle. 1 point, I think, judging by the crowd reaction. The old umpire agrees. Behind the Hawthorn, that's their first score of this quarter. Coming up at the 6-minute mark, they still trail by 15 points. Danaher looks for a lead. He's found one. Oh, Williams, beautiful play. Chipped in front of Kennedy. Didn't look a good pass. Williams out to Hawker. Here's tries to fist the ball clear. Does so. Still in play, is it? Or is it out of bounds? It is out of bounds, and a boundary throw will take place on the outer side. The scene of the battle earlier. Most amazing all-in blues we've seen for a long time. Certainly in a grand final, I can't recall anything like that ever before. Suppose we could go back to the 1945 Bloodbath grand final. Something like that probably happened, but certainly not in modern times. Once again, a bounce. Still on centre wing.
Don't you think, Lou, that Hawthorn might be well advised now to slip Dunstall back to full forward and bring Brereton out? Then certainly the move is not working at the moment.
I'd go along with you, Bob.
They're not getting the ball down there, are they? Now that is a free kick for, or is it another bounce? Still another bounce, this time on centre wing, 7 minutes ago.
And the difference still 15 points in favour of Essendon. It'll be a ball up out there on the centre wing position. A capacity house just about today, over the 100,000, pretty close to it, Pete. Knocked out by Madden, but wasn't a very successful one. Kicked off the ground, it comes back to Wood, and DP Domenico having a good wrestle there. DP Domenico can't get out of the pack that time, and the umpire will ball it up out there on that half-forward line for Hawthorn over towards their centre half-forward position, about 60 metres out from goal. Still trailing by 15 points. A hurried kick that time by Clark, back out towards the wing position. Lester Smith knocks it on. This is a dangerous one, picked up here by Harvey. He looked there for the big fella Salmon in front. He's got it. And as I said before, looming up is the big danger here today.
He's having a field day, isn't he?
That was a beautiful bit of play on the part of Harvey too, incidentally.
But poor play by Lester Smith there, Lou, and you know, I wouldn't have Lester Smith on Watson. I think it's
suicide.
You just can't handle him anyway, and I think you're not seeing the best of Lester Smith when you ask him to play on Watson.
Salmon going for goal number 2 from about 25 metres out directly in front. There it is on its way, and he's hooked that one. And of course, that's a blessing in disguise for Hawthorn. 7 goals, 6:48 Essendon to Hawthorn 5-2-32. Alan Jeans, the coach of Hawthorn, looking a little bit worried, and I don't blame him. Ball back into play by Chris Mew. Punched out by Hawker over to Harvey. A hurried kick as he's snuggling. There's a chance for Salmon again. This is the boy I was talking about. And last year he was the most sensational player in football until he damaged his knee, and now he's back in this grand final. He's kicked 1 goal, 3. Going for goal number 2 now from about 25 metres out, but the angle is much more acute. But I just feel that he takes it a bit too long to kick the ball.
He's always done that, Lou, right from the moment he came into league football. It's taken a long time, and so you do what's natural for yourself.
Let's see what happens with this one.
It's not natural head kick, even though it might get through.
It was touched right on the line. That was a bad kick as he slipped. I'm not too happy about it. So it's still 17 points the difference. Kevin Sheedy, well, I think he would be happy with his team's performance so far at the 9.5-minute mark of the second quarter of the 1985 Grand Final.
Well, Hawthorn can thank their lucky stars that Chris Mew hasn't kicked straight. Otherwise, they'd be looking down the barrel. Good kick by Mew. Lester Smith knocks the ball down, picked up by Elshaw, but dispossessed quickly. Lester Smith again, short kick up over the centre circle. Bounce favours Weston. Two Hawthorn players fight each other for it. In goes Loveridge. We haven't seen much of him today. Duckworth caught, held it for a fortnight. Loveridge from half forward. Down towards Brereton. Oh, to goal! To goal! Over the head of Danaher and Brereton, and it bounced through. Well,
They're too busy wrestling, weren't they?
a little bit of luck going Hawthorn's way, and they certainly needed it. 6-2 to 7-7. Bob.
Yes, all those things do happen at times when two players are really wrestling with each other and concentrating more on themselves than the ball. And there was nobody else able to give Danaher a help out down there because the ball just came down too quickly, and that's the value of getting the ball down there as quickly as you can.
Hawthorn's first goal this quarter, and it came up at the 10.5-minute mark. Hawthorn trailed by 11 points, 38 to 49. Second quarter, picked up by Ayres, nearly lost his head as he got that kick in out towards the centre wing position. Brian Wood does it beautifully, gets the hand pass out to Thompson. Duckworth it was. Duckworth down towards right half forward. Elshaw is there for Essendon. Tuck for Hawthorn, the ball over the boundary line. So boundary throw in between wing and right half forward flank for Essendon. On the left is Madden. McCarthy in the ruck. Baker straight to Loveridge though. Loveridge's kick is a high one. That's bad disposal as well, and Duckworth takes this mark. Langford, I think, prepared to concede a 15-metre penalty there, but none given.
That's the place to give them away, Pete.
Yeah, not on the forward line. He didn't give one there, perhaps surprisingly.
Walsh back on the ground too, incidentally.
Kick is a high one. Elshaw. Essendon showing more desperation at the moment. Harvey knocked away by Russo. That was well played from Peter Russo. Has to get around Izzard, does so. On towards Morris. Morris's kick is a high one. Brian Wood in the box seat. Madden there again. Oh, mark number 9. Playing a ripper game, Madden. He's well in line for the medal today. And this guy is too. Thompson inside the square. Short pass. Harvey again. Can't take the mark, or has he? No, it's a play-on call from the umpire, and I think a correct one. Dunstall, O'Halloran, Loveridge, Thompson. Thompson getting the front position, doing it well. Playing a superb game. Hawker tries to crash his way through, not successful, lost possession. Schwab looks for the hand pass. Ayres tries to paddle it out further, not successful. In the back ball, going which way I'm not sure. It's going Essendon's way. Clark takes the free kick. He's gone for a short pass. Williams not quite ready for that one. And again, it wasn't a good pass. McCarthy gets clear of Watson.
And the ball goes out there towards the wing position, tapped to the ground. The umpire's called play on. Coming in to meet it now is Cop Baker. He goes down, but he won't give in. He goes after it. The umpire will... No, he was going to ball it up, but he let it go. Fortunately for Essendon, Baker gets it out wide with a beautiful pass over to Elshaw. He'll look for Salmon again. He's got a chance to mark this one. No, he couldn't get there in time, and it's through for 1 point. I would say that Hawthorn are a little bit lucky that the Bombers are off target at the moment. 7-8-50 plays 6-2-38. Matthews coming off the ground and replaced by Russell Bree. Ball back into play again. Falls a bit short. Chance for Watson. Oh, that's a strong mark by Lester Smith. Ran into a bit of trouble. Still got the hand pass out to Hanley. A long kick over the Hawthorn half-forward line. Punched out by Danaher. Backing up as well there is Weston. It's a high kick back to Danaher and Swab. And that's a strong mark to Danaher. Nearly off the mark then too. Umpire gave him the benefit of the doubt. Just on the 14-minute mark, a long hand pass coming out there to Weston. It didn't help the cause very much. Up looking there for Madden, another mark, and that's mark number 8. The kick by Madden is long, looking for Merritt. Into his back was Mew. The umpire said play on as the ball is hand passed back there looking for Izzard, but he kicks it out of bounds. That was good play on the part, or good thinking on the part of Harvey, but it didn't come off. So 14 minutes gone. It's still 12 points the difference in favour of the Bombers.
Boundary throw in. Essendon forward pocket. Knocked down by Merritt, picked up by Izzard. Salmon, oh! The dream come true, this fellow he's having today. All he has to do is kick straight. He's taken 5 marks.
And he's doing it now against Chris Mew. And
But Snow White can kick this. He's only about 15 metres out, directly in front.
I think it wasn't very hard to work out he was going to be a danger when he tapped that one up to, I think it might have been Ezzo with that magnificent knockout, Bob, in that first quarter.
yes, he's looked good as not on camera. Tuck off, Judge on.
He's put that one through. 2 goals to Salmon. Should have been a lot more. 56 to 38, and the predictable is happening here at the MCG. Essendon running right away.
I think Hawthorn really have to think about doing something now. They're just not getting the ball into their forward line enough, and when they are, they're hopelessly out of position. So I would be inclined to bring Brereton out to centre half forward, Dunstall back to full forward. It worked, and now I think they should accept the fact that it's not working at the moment.
Essendon leading 56 to 38. That's 16 points. Back into the centre, McCarthy loses out to Matt. Essendon again get it out of the centre, but it's going to be a Hawthorn free kick to stem the tide. Momentarily at least, it will be taken by Divya Domenico. Short of centre field, out wide, looking for Dunstall. Oh, great mark for Weston. And Essendon taking the point pretty well everywhere at the moment.
I think if Dunstall's going to be out there, Lou, then it's got to be right from that full forward position.
15-metre penalty.
Yeah, I'd go along with you, Bob.
Madden, best man on the ground, gets it back to Watson. Oh, and Essendon front. How unusual. McCarthy over to Langford. And Langford's gone up to Brereton on his own. He plays on, 10 metres out, and he's put it through for a goal to Hawthorn, a badly needed one. 4 goals to Brereton, playing a lone hand up on the forward line, 56 to 44. And Hawthorn trail now by 12 points.
Well, there's no doubt that this fella's keeping them in the game, Bob. It was a bad fumble by Weston.
Yes, it was, Lou, and but still, nonetheless, it was a bad mistake to hand pass rather than go for the kick. And we see now on replay 4 goals. The 4th goal coming from the boot of Dermot Brereton, and while that was going on, tucked back onto the ground, ears off.
Here's to the bench. 12 points the difference, 8-8-56 to 7-2-44 as we approach the 17-minute mark of the quarter.
Madden against McCarthy. Well, they both missed that one. Deeply out of Domenico drives them back over the half forward. And there's a mark. Now he's called play on to Kennedy. In goes Walsh, misses that. Over to Wallace. Back it goes to Langford. Hawthorn go back into attack again, looking for Brereton, but it's too long and it's out of bounds. Well, Brereton doing a marvellous job down there. He's kicked 4 goals out of their 7. Of course, he hadn't been playing too well until today. He played a bit better last week. Ball back into play again. Chance for Wood. Walsh on the scene a bit late, and the ball is out of bounds. About 50 metres around from the Hawthorn goal. There's Alan Jeans giving a few directions. Ball back into play again. Knocked out by Matt, picked up by Russo. That kick is smothered. A chance for Judge on the ground now. Down goes Thompson. They pile in there, and the umpire will ball it up once again. About 50 metres out from the Hawthorn goal. When you look through best players, Essendon are loaded with them. You can't find that many good ones for Hawthorn, Bob.
No, Hawthorn around the ground have been struggling, Lou.
Yet they're well within striking distance, only 12 points down into this quarter by the second by 18 minutes. Knocked out by Langford, a fumble, comes back to Walsh, he loses the ball. Still plenty of fumbling going on by both teams there, and the umpire will ball it up once again. Still about 40 metres out from the Hawthorn goal. Well, a goal here for the Hawks will work wonders for them, I would think. Knocked out by Langford. Walsh runs into trouble at a fresh air shot. Picked up by Hawker. A hurried kick back towards the centre of the ground. Coming into metre now is McCarthy and Harvey. Nearly a free kick to McCarthy. Take the free kick at centre field. Quick hand pass over to Morris. Morris gives a long kick over the half-forward line. Brereton on the back flies. He might have got that one. He's played it. Oh, he's doing a magnificent job there. That was a marvellous mark. What a mark by Dermot Brereton.
That's all the more reason why I have him out at centre half forward at the moment. I think he's really running hot at the moment. And, it's just not getting down to him as often as you should be.
From about 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle going for goal number 5. And there she is on its way. That's a good one. The Hawks are back in business, and no wonder he jumped in the air that time. The hairdresser's delight's doing a marvellous job, isn't it? 56 plays 50.
6 points the margin, and Hawthorn not really playing well, but they're still hanging in there, and it might well be a good sign for Hawthorn, Lou, because without playing well, they're only 6 points down, so if they can get their game together a bit, they could be off and running.
5 goals to Dermot Brereton. He's the leading goal kicker in the match to date. 19 3/4 minutes have gone, second quarter, 6 points in it in favour of Essendon. 56 plays 50, knocked down by Madden. Get sick of saying that, but he's doing a great job in the ruck, and he thumps it 35 metres downfield. Green, who started on the interchange bench, out to centre wing. Baker Kennedy went the knock on, could have almost been in the back. Watson runs into trouble, still gets boot the ball. Well played, Timmy Watson. Hawthorn has to beat 4, couldn't do so. Hawker's there for Essendon. Out to Wood, out to Merritt. Merritt steadies, 20 metres out, slams it through for another one to Essendon. Roger Merritt playing great football. 3 goals, 9-8 to 8-2. Essendon by 12 points.
Those 2 key positions up forward, Merritt at centre half forward, was a bad bounce for O'Halloran. You really couldn't blame O'Halloran at all. But the 2 key positions, centre half forward with Merritt and full forward with Salmon, real dangers for Hawthorn.
Roger Merritt, the leading goal kicker for Essendon. He has 3, Paul Salmon has 2, Harvey has 2. 12 points in it. Hawthorn trail 50 to 62 in the 85 grand final. Becoming a little bit overcast now here at the MCG. Loveridge got a nice one there from Merritt. Tap back to Madden. Easily Essendon's best player. Izzard, the 2 number 15s. Izzard and Morris. Clark comes in for assistance. He's caught with the ball. Morris will take the free kick at right half-back flank.
Strong tackle that time by Morris. 21 minutes gone of this second quarter. And it's 12 points the difference in favour of Essendon. Hawthorn putting up a pretty good fight. Over the top of the pack at half forward. Walsh tries to get through the pack, but Manitoba actually threw that out. There's a free kick against him. It'll go to Dunstall.
And his first kick.
I think it is his first touch. Second. Ball back towards the forward pocket. Oh, there's hanging on there by everybody. There was picked up by Judge. A snap at goal. It might be all right. It is a goal. So you've got to give Hawthorn credit. 9-8, 62. Essendon. Hawthorn bouncing back once again. 9-2, 56.
Why would you start Judge on the bench, Bob?
Well, I think with the team balance, they had to pick up a few Essendon players. I thought that may have been a free kick to Terry Danaher on that occasion. I thought he was tackled too high, but been a couple of missed on that occasion. Judge taking full advantage of it.
Well, we're at the 22-minute mark. It's only a goal the difference. Alan Jean still giving plenty of orders up there in the coach's box, but he'd be pretty pleased with his side's comeback here. 6 points the difference in favour of the Bombers. Knocked out by Matt. Down it goes there to Merritt. Taps it on beautifully to Thompson. He's grabbed, but he shrugs his opponent off. Looking up there for Salmon again, but he's off target. Punched on by Morris, but at least he's left it in deep in Essendon's attacking zone. He wasn't too happy with that decision.
So I think it was a case of Chris Mew thought that Morris was going to mark, but did not tell him.
Only about 20 metres around from the Essendon goal. There's 6 points in front. 62 plays 56. Knocked out by Matt, picked up by Williams, a snap and goal. This is not a bad sort of a kick. What a goal. So they're 12 points in front again. And no wonder the big fella went across and gave him a hug. 10 goals, 868 Essendon for Hawthorn. 9 goals, 256.
It's a lovely piece of ruck work there. As it's tapped over the back, and Williams, a superb piece of roving to finish it off. Firstly, to win the ball, and second, to snap in that manner. As we watch again,
Hawthorn's lack of height starting to tell, Bob?
I don't really think it's a case of that, Pete. I think it's just around the ground Essendon's class, and just a little bit better.
23 and a half minutes gone, 12 points the difference. The Bombers in front, and this fellow, the centre bounce, Matt, number 27, is dominating the game. There he got another knockout. Picked up by Loveridge, it's smothered, punched on by DP a minute ago. Back it goes to Madden again. It's Wallace getting a hurried kick back there, looking for Judge. In goes Langford, he's grabbed. There might be a free kick to Essendon. Didn't go there to Duckworth. He was grabbed and he didn't have the ball that time by Dunstall. A hand pass to Clark. Short pass. Oh, it's a shocker. Grabbed by Langford. Oh, well smothered that time by Duckworth. Picked up by Swab. His kick is not a good one. There's Timmy Watson. And the brilliant Watson breaks clear as he breaks that bit of play up for Hawthorn a pass. And the ball marked there by Wood.
Well, Walsh let one go at Judge and he got one back.
As the ball kicked on again. Up there towards the half full on the pack fly. Punched out by Morris. Smothered that time by Weston. Knocked on by Swab. Wallace got one a bit high. Over to Hanley, but Morris has dropped the ball. Picked up by Baker. A beautiful bit of play. Twice he dodged the players as he sent it up to Salmon again. He flies at the back of the pack as Ezard. He can't pick it up. Now he's got it a snap for goal, but he's off target and it's through for 1 point. This is a pretty good game, this grand final.
Ezard had Harvey to give the ball to on that occasion, but didn't even look.
69 plays, 56 in favour of Essendon, 24 just on 25 minutes gone of the second quarter of the 1985 grand final.
If it didn't look, Bob, I don't think he saw him. He was on his own. Tuck. Tuck's kick in towards the centre circle. Duckworth got one in the back, must get the free kick.
Well, I've been a bit lucky. He got in the way of the ball that time, Duckworth, I reckon.
No doubt.
The free kick was there.
Pushed him fair square in the middle of the back. He's got a 15-metre penalty. The amicable truck driver from Bomber territory. Merritt, rather. Baker. Folds. Off target, out of bounds or a point. I think it's out of bounds. It is. It will be a free kick to Hawthorn. We're into the time-on period of the second quarter now. Chris Muir is the Hawthorn player with the ball. Wobbly punt kick, doesn't travel that much distance. Madden can't take the mark. McCarthy had it. Maybe there was a play-on call there. Morris does. Out to Green. Green out to O'Halloran. Started at full-back. He's not playing there at the moment, of course. Too long for Dunstall. Brereton pushed down at her fair in the middle of the back. Kennedy tries to get onto his right foot. Does so. Snapshot off target, 1 point. One behind to Hawthorn, 10-9, 69 Essendon. Hawthorn 9-3, 57, 12 points in favour of Essendon, going for their 14th VFL Premiership and of course their second in succession after they won by around about 4 goals last year.
Pete, I believe that the umpire should always give the forward the benefit of the doubt. He's never going to be the aggressor. He tries to get away from his opponent.
Janitors kick in, looking for Madden, can't find him. Watson though backs him up well, tries to get the hand pass out. He can't do that either. Stack up develops a holding the ball decision. That was a little pass, Robert, wasn't it?
Well, I think it was because he missed the first one.
I'd reckon.
So Terry Wallace has the free kick for Hawthorn, short of right half forward flank. Wallace has gone for a pass to Brereton. Langford tries to palm the ball down, not successful. Judge and Walsh tangled again at the Brereton, offloaded by Hawker. A play on call. Hawker does so out to Nobby Clark. Clark gets clear for Essendon.
And it's out there towards Watson. Wallace on the scene a bit later. Here down goes Watson. Was that on the back? The umpire said yes, and right back. A little bit late getting the decision that time, Peter Cameron, but the free kick. He's caught him a little bit late on the back of the head.
It was a free kick, though.
Short pass. Not a good kick back there. Going through the pack that time as Fowles over to Baker. A perfect hand pass out there to Ezard at half forward. Screws the ball back, looking there for Wood, but deep here to Menego's in the way, takes a great mark. Quickly plays on. It's a bad hand pass to Wood, but he tapped the ball and it comes back to Ezard again. He's in the back against deep here to Menego. So Ezard's got the free kick out there at half forward. And Salmon calling for the lead. He's in front now. Can he mark it? He's got it. Well, he's the danger man.
That's the great part about Salmon. Not only is he just a big, tall player, he's a superb leader, and he really does play the full forward position like the true full forward.
There he is again, going for goal number 3. He's kicked 3 goals. Kicked 2 goals for us, should say. He's going for goal number 3 now from about, let's see, no more than about 30 metres out from goal. There's the kick on its way. Right on the result, it's a goal. So they move on to 11 goals, 9-75. Essendon to Hawthorn, 9-3-57.
Delighted Essendon supporters as we watch on replay. Alan Ezard placing the ball beautifully out in front of Salmon, and with a good lead and a well-placed kick, it leaves just no chance whatsoever for the full-back, who in this situation is now Chris Muir.
Should have started there in the first place, I think. 75-57, 28 3/4 minutes gone. Second quarter, 75-57, a good lead. Knocked down by Madden. Williams, high, half forward. Morris, Folds has got the mark. Folds goes for a short pass. Schwab intercepting for Hawthorn. Morris. Some of Hawthorn's handball has been atrocious this afternoon. They put players under pressure with many of them. Peter Medico a couple of minutes back, and that one there. So bounce will take place at Essendon's half-forward line.
Still, Pete, when you put under plenty of pressure, the hand passes always go astray, don't they?
I think as Pete said though, Lou, they're putting themselves under pressure.
McCarthy got that one down actually. Green got one in the back. He'll take a free kick at centre half back for Hawthorn. Nearly 30 minutes gone. It won't be as long a quarter as the opening one. We had that all in blue on the outer side. Wood on his mark.
Hawthorn's disposal is poor.
There's another word for it, Bob, but you can't use it on air. Clark. Almost a great mark out there to Thompson. Green looks for the hand pass. Lester Smith grabbed too high, a little bit lucky to get that. But Russo it is. And Russo will take the free kick at the left half-back flank. The hand pass comes off. Now to Morris. Morris's kick is long. Up over the centre wing. Walsh will go the spoil, but he hit it straight down to Dippy and Domenico. Can he get clear? No, great tackle, Kevin Walsh. Madden throws it out to Watson. Nothing for that. Hawker slung. Ball in towards centre field. McCarthy gets it onto Schwab. Schwab's left footer up towards Timmy Watson. Standing there on his own, takes the easiest of uncontested marks. Danner. Williams. Essendon stream downfield again. There's the siren for half-time as Roger Merritt rides a bump from Russell Green. Won't worry, big Roger the Lodger. 11:09.75. Half-time Essendon to Hawthorn 9:3.57.
Well, there's the man of the moment.
I don't think so.
Peter Cameron starts proceedings in the second half. The 1985 Grand Final. Essendon leading by 18 points. 11:09 to 9:3. Schwab, the first kick of the second half. Dunstall takes his first mark of the day. Been very quiet, Jason Dunstall, but then again we could say the same about quite a few other Hawthorn players. Only his third kick. It is, in fact, he decides to kick it. Dunstall, 50 metres out from goal. Ball standing up into the breeze. Plenty of Essendon defenders there. The ball off the hands of two of them, through for one behind. And that's the first score of the second half coming up to Hawthorn, reducing the difference to 17 points. Terry Danaher, the Essendon skipper, to bring the ball back.
When you play Burton at full forward, it's Dunstall who really pays the penalty because he's not quick enough to play out around about the half-forward line.
Good hand pass comes out to Clark from Williams, up to the centre wing position. Weston gets the hand pass back again. Madden onto Hawker, out of bounds. Essendon's left half-forward flank. Yes, perhaps, as you pointed out, Bob, they could be better served by moving Brereton out and putting Dunstall back in the square, where he played so very well last week, of course, against Footscray in the preliminary final. McCarthy and Merritt. Merritt's been a brilliant player today for Essendon. This is that one. Williams fumbles. It will be a bounce. Still half forward for Essendon. Hazy sunshine now. We do have a very light shower during the half-time break. It won't have affected the surface at all. Merritt down to O'Halloran. Still O'Halloran. Still can't get rid of it. Not too much happening in the first couple of minutes of the third quarter. So again we'll see a bounce. Still left half forward flank for Essendon. McCarthy and Merritt. Run by Merritt. Thompson fires out the hand pass. It's ineffectual, out of bounds.
Out of bounds about 55, 60 metres around from the Essendon goal. There's 17 points in front. Just on the 2.5-minute mark of the third quarter of the 1985 Grand Final. Knocked out by Merritt. Williams tries to go through the pack because he grabbed a bit too high. The umpire said dropping the ball. A little bit harsh on him, I thought.
I agree with you, Luke.
McCarthy out there at half-back for Hawthorn. Boots the ball back to the centre of the ground. The pack fly. Oh, good punch by Walsh. Back over the half-forward line. Overrunning the ball that time was Fowles. Picked up by O'Halloran. Showed a bit of dash. Out wide. Coming in to meet it now is DP and Domenico. He goes down. He was actually tripped that time by Hawker, but it stopped him in his tracks. A quick hand pass to Michael Tuck out there at half-forward. Straight up has a long shot at goal. Brereton the break. Can he mark it? Couldn't grab that one. He was put off balance a bit that time by Danaher and through for 1 point. So it's 16 points. 75 plays 59. And we have to give full marks to Hawthorn because they went into this grand final real outsiders, but they've really fought it out. Ball knocked away from Morris, picked up here now by Baker. Baker goes for a pass. It's a good one and found Merritt there at half forward. Actually, he's down towards the wing position. Short pass. Out a good mark to Foles. The Essendon forwards moving around. Lopez coming out to meet it, but was Azard couldn't get there in time on a good mark by Russo. Russo back there to Lester Smith. A quick hand pass coming over the swap. He's in a bit of trouble. A hurried kick back towards the wing position. Duckworth there couldn't smother it. He goes after it again. Now Duckworth tries to crash through the pack successfully. A good pass. Now it's a long pass out there to Wood, but there's no one within a mile of him from Hawthorn, so he's got plenty of room to move around. He goes for a long hand pass to Harvey. Harvey with a long kick. Up there looking for Merritt. Merritt's got it, then he fumbles the ball and playing it wisely at the time and forced it through his young Russo. So 4 minutes gone, and the difference, what is now still 17 points, the difference.
17 points, less than 3 goals. Mew, good long kick that one. Almost straight to Madden though, and here's the danger man, Watson. An explosive speed he has, gets on his gas, and the way it goes, another goal to Essendon. 12-10-82 to 9-5-59. The Shepherds is put in the fridge at Windy Hill.
What would you try and do with Watson? Lou would attempt to tag him at this stage?
Well, I think he should have been tagged at the beginning because possibly he is the best attacking player out of both sides, and he's been let run loose all day here.
He's just too dangerous to let run around on his own.
That's right.
2 goals to Watson. The earlier one from a free kick, playing brilliantly at the moment, 82-59. Now Essendon increasing their lead. Wallace has that kick smothered. It'll be a ball up. Just wide of the centre circle. Just on Hawthorn's attacking side. McCarthy and Madden. Thompson. Too many good running players at the moment. Handley takes the mark at half back, so making sure that he's not going to play on. That concedes a 15-metre penalty, but he won't worry too much about that.
Well, that's where you give him away down there, Pete, not on the forward like Hawthorn did in the first half.
Yes, that was very poor play. Madden, well, that's just about a mark. That not paid by the umpire. Domenico tried to soccer it off the ground. There's Tudor's Clark. Ball may beat both of them over the boundary line. Pretty close to it now. Clark fires out the hand pass, taking it as Thompson tries to crash his way through. Not successful. The ball paddled further forward by Dunstall. Domenico again tries some soccer tactics. Not successful. And umpire Peter Cameron comes in and will effect a bounce. Left half forward flank for Hawthorn.
Just over the 6-minute mark of this third quarter. 82 plays 59 in favour of Essendon. It's a ball up out there on that half forward line, about 75 metres out from the Hawthorn goal. Sun is shining pretty brightly at the moment as Walsh grabs that one, shrugs his opponent off, goes for a hand pass over there to Williams, but he hooks the ball. I think it might have been out of bounds when he grabbed that one, so it's still out there towards Hawthorn's half forward line, but a heck of a distance around from their goals. And there's Alan Jeans, never the happiest looking bloke in the world, but not looking even more glum today.
Well, you can understand that at the moment, Lou, because things are not looking bright for Hawthorn.
Ball picked up by Swab. The ball's chopped back over the half-forward line. Coming in to meet it as Walsh falls over. Backing up well now as Weston gets the ball back towards the centre of the ground. There's a race going on here now between Russo and Elshaw. It's Elshaw turning nicely to go for a pass and tuck intercepts beautifully there at half-back. A hand pass. Over it goes to Handley. Handley's kick is over the half-forward. The back is mad now. Is that for a sensational game? But that's his 10-9 for the match. Quick hand pass over to Walsh. The ball out wide, left out there on his own is Nobby Clark. Goes for a long kick over the half forward. Gone for a pass and picked up here now by Foles, about 55 metres out from goal. Salmon making a lead, but that's being ignored.
Foles looks as though he thinks he might kick this.
Well, he's pretty confident. He's not worrying about anybody making leads to him, so Foles usually a pretty good kick. There it is. This one make the distance. Salmon's got a chance to mark it. He's grabbed it. He's played a sensational game down there, and I'll tell you what, now that his leg seems to be okay, he's in for a sensational season next year.
6 marks.
And that's exactly the way to play it, I think. Clear it out a little bit and then let the player such as Folge in this case, have a shot at goal. If it doesn't make the distance, if it's a goal, all well and good. If it doesn't make the distance, to have Salmon sitting there is a luxury that everybody else must be very envious of.
Well, he's going for goal number 4. I think he's kicked 4 behind besides this. There's the kick on its way. That's a goal. It's 13-10-88 to Essendon to Hawthorn 9-5-59.
27 points down, and Essendon going right on with the job now. It's hard to see Hawthorn making any inroads on their lead. Good long kick by Folge, didn't quite get the distance. Salmon, perfect judgment. Again, stood there like glue on his hands, put it through.
Bob, just the same news seems to give him a little bit of latitude.
Points the difference now, and only 9 minutes into the third quarter. Essendon looking for their 14th premiership, and they've just about got it, I would think. Morris, Hawker, good smother. It goes through, loses out to Wallace. Wallace a high ball down towards Brereton and Danaher. Socked away by Weston. Brereton still trying his heart out down there for Hawthorn. Kennedy, tackle goal by Walsh. Loveridge can't break the tackle. That's not 10 metres, surely it's out of bounds. Will be a boundary throw in. Hawthorn's right forward pocket, almost next to their behind post, and they badly need a goal here. That's the understatement of the afternoon. Best man on the ground, number 27 for Essendon, Simon Madden. One palm down to Clark, but he can't get clear. It will be a bounce. About 15 metres out from the Hawthorn goal. A bad result for the bookmakers if, of course, Essendon get up. They were red-hot favourites, 3-1 on. Walsh out to Baker. A free kick. Umpire has found. It's going to Baker, I think. Or was it going to Walsh? No, I was right the first time. Baker.
So Baker's limping too, Pete.
Yes, he got a knock earlier in the game, but it doesn't appear to have affected his mobility too much. As Harvey cops one. And it will be a 15-metre penalty. Watch it again. Harvey bounces up pretty quickly though to take the kick. Assisted by that 15-metre penalty. O'Halloran takes the mark in front of big Roger Merritt. O'Halloran just up from the back pocket.
Just on the 11-minute mark, 29 points the difference. Out it goes now to Loveridge. Takes that mark down there in the back pocket for Hawthorn. Hawthorn going a long way home this time. Right across the goals and now coming around the members' side. That kick falls a bit short. Kennedy couldn't hold that. Going afterwards, Duckworth, he wanted anybody else getting there. It's still on the boundary line, still in play. The umpire will ball it up out there on Essendon's half-forward on about 65 metres out.
Lovely kick. Nobody to kick that one to, Lou. It just shows Hawthorn just not moving around. They look a dispirited side at the moment.
88 plays 59 in favour of the Bombers. Knocked out by McCarthy. A fumble by Loveridge. Another stack up here, and the umpire will ball it up once again. Well, the crowd's gone a little bit quiet here today because they can sense now that the Bombers are in the box seat to win their second premiership in succession. Pushed down by, I don't know who got that down, but Williams got the ball away. Back up there looking for Elshaw. He's got the mark out, manoeuvred Russo beautifully to take that mark about 40 metres out from goal. Elshaw yet to score a goal. This young fellow will be pretty happy playing with the Bombers too. He found it pretty hard to get a game with Melbourne there a couple of years back.
It's a bit different playing with the bottom side than the top side.
Robbie Flower did pretty good out there too, wouldn't he?
Waiting now for Elshaw to go for goal number 1. There it is on its way. Didn't come around enough, I don't think. And it's through for 1 point, so it's 30 points the difference in favour of the Bombers.
Merritt off, Van der Haar on.
We do this quarter by 12 and a half minutes. A short pass by Hawthorn. It's marked here by McCarthy. Goes for a long hand pass looking for O'Halloran. He's got it there, balked nicely. Another long hand pass to Tuck. Takes a while to pick it up, but he got it over to Handley okay. He's grabbed. He had to have a hurried kick. And that's why we see Hawker taking the mark out there at half.
Free kick upfield, Luke.
Well, that took it away from Essendon then, so the free kick going out wide to Kennedy, I think it is.
Kennedy left half forward flank for Hawthorn. Long way from goal, probably 75 metres. Walsh in the centre of the pack has not come down with the ball. It's Van der Haar.
going to play it to him either. And it will be a bounce just off the edge of the kick-off line. 13.25 minutes gone. The scoreboard, sorry sight for Hawthorn supporters, but Essendon very close, I think, to their second successive flag. Brereton, Weston. Hawker can't spin out with the ball, flung to the ground. Out to Van der Haar from the Essendon skipper Danaher. Long kick by Van der Haar up towards the centre wing position. Now Halloran had to sit there and takes the mark. I wonder a surprise inclusion in the Hawthorn side. They played Bacanara in the reserves this afternoon. A surprise move perhaps. Harvey went through without the ball. Watson trying to get a hand pass out, couldn't do so, and the umpire has decided again on a bounce at centre half forward for Hawthorn. They kicked 5 goals in the first quarter, but have got only 9 to this present stage of the match, which is 14 minutes into the third quarter. 13-11 to 9-5. Crowd a little quiet at the moment. Madden hits it straight down to Kennedy. They good smother by Clark, picked up by Thompson, gets his way through the pack, gets offloaded by Lester Smith. Won't worry him at all. Out towards Michael Tuck, beating him forward as Ezard. Late tackle Handley, picked up by Tuck. He's fired out the hand pass to Russell Green, who fumbles. Green close to the boundary line. Gets the kick back towards centre forward. Madden again. Mark number 11. Yes, he's played it. Clark. Essendon doing as they like at the moment, really. Wood. Clark's in front of Judge. And that's, I think, Clark, is it? It's Danaher. Wood's gone for a pass. Picked up by Madden. That's mark number 12. The even dozen. If he doesn't get the Norm Smith medal for best and fairest on the ground this afternoon, it'll be tragic. Gary Foulds gets a 15-metre penalty, brings him up to the attacking side of centre. Foulds, long kick, Salmon. That will be in the back, I think. Yes, it is. Free kick going to Hawthorn, and the recipient, I think, will be Peter Schwab. And Schwab to take the free kick just up from the back pocket. He's decided to go for a hand pass.
15 minutes gone of this third quarter. 30 points the difference in favour of Essendon. The ball out there towards their half forward on a good, strong mark that Yates. This fella could come to light and kick 3 or 4 quick goals. Bob would bring a lot of life back to the Hawthorn team.
They're not really looking like it once they get down near the goals, Alu.
Ball over the towards full forward now. Browden couldn't hold that one. He got one a bit high, but the umpire set play on as Lester Smith balks. He's grabbed, but he's clear now. Straightens up, fires at the goals. Well, that's a good kick. It's a goal. And that might be the one they needed. So it's 13-11, 89 Essendon to Hawthorn 10-5, 65. Well, it's only 24 points the difference.
Well, it's a 21-minute mark of the second quarter since Hawthorn have kicked the goal. And Brereton got one there, but a lovely piece of play by Lester Smith. Fine dummy, and then just straightens up and puts it through. Lovely balk there as Lee Matthews comes back onto the ground for Hawthorn.
And McCarthy goes off. 16.25 minutes gone.
7 to bounce again, knocked out by Matt. Coming into meet it now as DP at Amenigo gets a good hand pass out to Morris. Bouncing back again, Hawthorn. Brereton's got a chance to kick his 6th goal. He's only about 45 metres out, if that. Directly in front, he's played a fine game. What's that mark again?
He used his body beautifully there, almost giving Danaher no chance whatsoever.
Putting up an outstanding performance here today, this young fellow, Dermot Brereton, going for goal number 6. They've only kicked 10 so far. There it is on its way. That's the result. A goal. So it's only 18 points the difference now. The 17-minute mark of this third quarter. 13-11, 89 Essendon to Hawthorn 11-5, 71. And you've got to give Hawthorn credit. They won't throw the sponge in, Bob.
I notice that Brereton has been shifted out, Lou. He did take that mark well out from full forward. Dunstall now at full forward. And Brereton at centre half forward.
Well, you made that suggestion before, and the one you made last week with Matthews certainly paid off. There's Kevin Sheedy on the phone. Centre bounce again, just on the 17.5-minute mark. Knocked out by Matt. It's a long one. Down there to Wezard. He's put off balance. Hanley trying to get through the pack. He's crashed to the ground. It'll be a free kick for home the man. So those last 2 goals could give Hawthorn a bit of encouragement. They're not out of it yet. 15-metre penalty. This brings him up to the centre of the ground. It's a long kick over their half-forward line. Punched away into the hands of Tuck. He has a go up towards the goals. Punched away again by Weston. Coming into middle now is Timmy Watson. He shows a lot of pace. He goes after again. Two Hawthorn players crest. And look at the Essendon chant go around the boundary line with a beautiful hand pass. Out there to Wellshaw. A long kick down there looking for little Essendon. He's got the mark. And the Bombers are bouncing back. Is he off?
Yes.
Umpire call. Play on as it comes back now to Morris. Morris runs into a bit of trouble. He's lost it. Picked up by Thompson, showing a lot of aggression there. Goes for a beautiful pass to find Baker in perfect position, about 40 metres out from goal.
Talking about off. Madden off. Merritt on.
Don't be joking.
Waiting now for the ball to come back into play. Or having shot, I should say. Baker going for goal. Number 1. Oh, he's got it again, Salmon. Too big.
Front man.
Is he paying the front man?
Front man.
Oh, that might have been a doubtful one. Essendon crowd not too happy about it, but there's a good pass to Michael Tuckett, centre half back. 18 points the difference. Out to DP at a minute ago on his own. He's away from Wood. He kicks it long over the half forward line. Coming in as Dunstall, knocked away by Hawker. He's grabbed, but gets he's grabbed again, but he gets clear. Hooks the ball back, looking there for Duckworth. It bounces okay up there at half back. He's got plenty of time to have a bounce and go for a pass to Timmy Watson. Watson with a short pass, looking there for Thompson. Quickly plays on. Boots the ball up there towards the big fella Salmon again. Couldn't hold that one. Mew had him well covered. Mew goes down, but he smothers the ball well. He's got time to get up and go for a short pass. Good play on the part of Mew.
Langford takes the pass. He's gone for one himself up towards the centre wing position. Green, well, just about a throw onto Lester Smith. Back to Schwab. Opposition from Baker. Short ball down to half forward. Too long for Matthews. Chance for Judge. Fumbles. Ball doesn't bounce kindly for him. Hawker's right there with him. Matthews gets offloaded by Duckworth. They get out of the road there with those two. Free kick against Matthews for holding the ball. Much to the delight of the Essendon fans. Watch it again.
Play on for mine.
Me too.
He's Lee Matthews though, Bob. Knocked away by O'Halloran from Van der Haar. Baker, or got one in the back. No free kick for that. Lester Smith can't get clear. That's holding the ball. So Van der Haar to take the free kick for Essendon. He's at left half-back flank. In front of the capacity MCG crowd this afternoon. 20 3/4 minutes into the third quarter. The Flying Dutchman's kick dropping a little bit short. It's onto the centre wing position. Merritt down to Harvey. Spins out, then loses it. That's a throw. Morris. Wallace. Oh, Brereton, what a mark.
Magnificent mark.
He certainly has been Hawthorn's best player. Gets it out to Matthews. Matthews has gone for a short pass. An absolute shocker. And Bomber Thompson takes the easiest of marks he'll get all day. Thompson, assisted by a 15-metre penalty, brings the ball back in towards the centre square. Marked by Tuck. He lifted his game and he would have needed to. Long kick by Tuck into the goal square. Good defence by Clark. Kennedy, no one to give it to. Matthews calling for it. Kennedy trying to do too much. And it will be a bounce about 15 metres out from goal.
It's a bit stiff there. He got the staggers, didn't he?
I don't think he'd get himself balanced enough to get a hand pass in, and if he had tried to hand pass, he probably would have thrown it.
18 points the difference, and that's what it was at half-time. After Essendon got a break early in this quarter, 11-5 to 13-11. Merritt, free kick for a hip out, and it's going to Clark. On to Baker, on to Thompson, on to Harvey. Harvey from left half-back flank, clear of all opponents, goes long, down towards the left half-forward flank, trying to find Van der Haar. It does so, good mark by Van der Haar, taken in front of O'Halloran. So Van der Haar with a chance to put Essendon deep into attack now, and he's got a 15-metre penalty.
Just on 22 and a half minutes gone, 18 points the difference as Van der Haar looks for Salmon, comes out, jumps, he's got it. Certainly making it very hard for Chris Mew with passes like that. He'd be about 45 metres out on a very slight angle. There it is again, there's the champ. And of course Simon Madden's having a rest on the bench to come on fresh in that last quarter, I should imagine. He's already kicked 4 goals, the big fella, number 3. There it is on its way. Didn't make the distance, it hits the deck now. Going after it is Ezard, goes for a pass, it's a good one, he's found Elshaw in. No, he called play and it might have been touched.
Looked a mark, didn't it?
Well, it looked a mark, but the umpire was very different about that decision. Didn't even hesitate. So it might have been touched. I don't know what the result was, but it looked a mark to us up here. Ball kicked back into play again. There's a chance now for Thompson to grab this one. Taps it on, straightens up, fires at the goals. And he's put it through to put him 24 points in front. That's his first goal. So it's 14-11, 95 Essendon to Hawthorn. 11-5, 71.
Mark Thompson playing an excellent game for the Bombers. He's covering a lot of territory, giving a free rein of the ground, and no matter where he goes, he's winning the ball, and his disposal, whether by foot or by hand, has been excellent.
Thompson's first goal. 24 points the difference, and that's the biggest margin so far today. Centre square infringement, the free kick going Essendon's way, breaking clear, big merit, long kick, looking for Salmon again. Where is he? There he is, can't take the grab. Mew comes down with the ball, tackled by Elshaw. It's a free kick, says umpire Robinson, going the way of Hawthorn for a high tackle, and it will go to Chris Mew when he can find his leg. Mew just up from the full-back line. Wobbly punt kick to centre wing, in front Walsh. Shark by Lester Smith. Down to right half forward flank. Matthews playing behind Clark. Sockers it off the ground. Down goes Dipio Domenico. Dunstall, great hand pass to Judge. Fine tackle, Nobby Clark. Judge, second chance. The umpire.
It's a free kick against him for dropping the ball, I think.
That's right,
Judge can't believe it, and neither can the Hawthorn fans, but the umpire had blown the whistle. Clark. Danaher. And Essendon really looking the goods at the moment. Danaher from right half-back flank. Out to Merritt. Hawthorn haven't got enough runners. Harvey a long way from goal. Couldn't score from there. Decides to go subsequently for a short pass. Schwab and Williams tangle. Van der Haar spent some time on the bench. He'll be fairly fresh. He's gone for a pass. Little Ezard almost took the mark. Loveridge sockers it off the ground, out of bounds on the full. And when you're hot, you're hot, and when you're not, you're not. And Hawthorn doing nothing right at the moment.
Well, there's not much else he could have done there, Bob. He had to go for the kick off the ground. It was a bit unfortunate. He connected too well. There's a chance now for Duckworth to put the ball right into the goal square. Players set themselves, and that's a good mark to Chris Mew. Salmon going a bit mad there. He said, I was sticking out there on my own. You forgot all about me. 15-metre penalty. Mew decides to go for a bit of a bounce, then a hand pass to Wallace. He gets a hurried kick back out there, coming in at strong mark that time to Walsh. Quickly plays on.
Should have been a free kick to Barrett.
There's a chance for the big fella. No, it's Baker that's got it. Salmon was there too, but Baker's got it well in front. He's only about 25 metres out, if that.
I do not know how umpire Cameron missed that one.
26, just on 26 and a half minutes gone of this third quarter of the 1985 grand final. Essendon already 24 points in front. And this will give them a lead of 5 goals if Baker, number 4, is successful for Essendon. There's the kick. And that's a goal. So it's Essendon starting to look good once again. 15-11, 101 to Hawthorn, 11-5, 71.
Essendon player, and there's the free kick to Barrett. And Walsh came over the top, but there was no doubt that it should have been a free kick to Dermot Brereton. But nonetheless, on the scoreboard, it's a goal to Leon Baker. So somebody might have decided that they've like a ball. So with a 30-point margin, Hawthorn, well, they did manage to get within 18 points, Lou, but they then just haven't been able to get any closer than that.
Certainly right, Bob, and that's the beauty of this Essendon, so they can always bounce back, can't they?
30 points the difference, 27 and a half minutes gone. Third quarter. Merritt. Loveridge tackled by Merritt. Kick is a high one. It won't or can't be a mark. Didn't travel the required 10 metres. Knocked back by Brian Wood. Picked up by Schwab. He turns into trouble instead of out of it. Thompson again. Fresh air shot. Essendon free kick.
We see Thompson about to take the free kick. We talk about the adaptability of the Essendon bigger players. You look at a player like Thompson, who's a superb back pocket player, and look at the job he's doing on the ball.
That's right.
Yes, well, of course, Wayne Harms was a bit like that, wasn't he, Bob? He could play back pocket, centre. Not a good kick from Thompson, nonetheless. Knocked out of bounds by Gary Folds, and it will be a boundary throw in left half forward flank for the Bombers at the 28-minute mark of the third quarter. 5 goals they lead by, so they're not too far away from their second successive flag. Vanderhaar and Tuck. One by Tuck. Kept in play by Lester Smith. Baker. Duckworth. Collared by Matthews. I'm going to argue with either of those. Gary Folds has the mark. In front is O'Halloran. At the back is Salmon. Watson. Handley. It was a throw, I think, says the umpire. Loveridge. Hawthorn still trying, but they're a long way down the gurgler at the moment. Short pass by the Hawthorn rover is marked by Ken Judge at centre field. Judge also going for a short pass. He's got Russell Green out there, but there's the siren for three-quarter time. Good quarter by Essendon, and the Bombers 1 quarter away from their second successive flag. The scoreboard at three-quarter time in the 85 grand final, 15-11, 101 to 11-5, 71. Up. The ball goes up. That signals the start of the final quarter for 1985 in the VFL Grand Final. Essendon leading by 30 points, 101 to 71. Knocked down by Madden, predictably back on the field. Wood gets tackled by Tuck. Loose ball on the wing. DP Rebecca tries to grab it and then scoop it out. Tuck goes for a long hand pass. Intercepting for Essendon is Baker. Baker's kick is down to the right half forward flank. Almost a mark. Not paid. Recovering quickly. Big Roger Merritt. Hooks the ball high. Izzard in front. Becoming pretty slippery. Would have taken that one earlier. Williams. Shot at goal is off target. Or Salmon has taken the mark, but it will be allowed.
They gave him a nice little nudge. It was just enough to move him, Bob.
So I thought that it would have been played, Lou. Was
8 marks.
He's a dangerous player, though.
This will be his 5th goal and make the difference 36 points, and under these conditions that will be a match-winning lead. He was off target a lot earlier, Paul Salmon. Again taking plenty of time, as is the norm for him, but he would have to fall over to miss it. Only 10 metres out, directly in front of goal for goal number 5. He's put it through. And that goal came up at the minute-and-a-quarter mark of the final term. 36 points in favour of Essendon, close to their 14th premiership. 16-11, 107 to 11-5, 71. Salmon has 5 for Essendon, Merritt 3, 2 to Watson and 2 to Harvey. Here's the mark in replay.
Yes, Alan Jeans really must be wondering just what can he do. And there isn't anybody that he could possibly put down there and bring Mew out to centre half back. Chris Mew, you can see the height disadvantage that Mew has there. As quite heavy rain is starting to come down now, and as you said, Pete, this will assist Essendon even further.
A new ball being brought out. 36 points the difference. 107 to 71 now in favour of Essendon. Madden will contest the centre bounce. Its Hawthorn opponent is Mike McCarthy. It's won by Madden. Picked up by Baker again, and Essendon swing into attack.
And smothered well that time by Merritt. Scoops it between his legs, kicked off the ground by Mew out wide towards the wing position. Coming in to meet it now is Elshaw. He gets clear of his opponents, goes for a hand pass. And there's a chance for Thompson, who's played a fine game here today. And the ball kicked up there towards the centre half forward position. Salmon flies, taps the ball on intelligently that time as it goes to the ground again. Swab tries to get clear, gets the ball back out there to Handley. A hurried kick back over the half back line for Hawthorn. At the back is, there's nearly a mark that time too. Thompson, he goes down. A fumble that time by Wallace. Another stack up here, and the umpire will ball it up. I think Thompson might have hurt himself coming down. Played a great game today, Thompson, Bob.
He certainly has, Lou.
Ball up on that half forward line for Essendon. A good distance out from their goal. Knocked back to Merritt by Madden. Merritt goes down. Did he get one the back? The umpire said no. Over to Loveridge. His kick is smothered, and it's out of bounds on the full. It'll be a penalty free kick out there to Timmy Watson. We saw Tim do that marvellous dash around the boundary line in that third quarter. It It wasn't a good kick, but it might be okay. He's gone for a hand pass. Merritt's a bad one, but knocked away by Morris, who goes to the ground to get a free kick. It'll be against Wood. Copped him too high in the head, the umpire indicating. And he'll take that free kick out there at half-back. We're approaching the 4-minute mark of the 1985 grand final last quarter. Ball punched out by the... there's a free kick, he found it. The umpire will go to Essendon's Danaher, I think it might be. Or is it going to go... Yes, it'll be Danaher to take the free kick at half-back. Not a player down there on Hawthorn's forward area at all, Bob. It's just wide open spaces. And there's a great mark to Roger Merritt.
Looking by far the better side at the moment. And the reason there wasn't a player down there was we even see players like Weston running up the ground to make position, and then of course Dunstall has to go with him.
Well, it's not a player over from the centre half forward position, or the half forward line down for the Hawthorn side. Flying high was Vanderhaar, couldn't hold the mark. It's kicked out towards Green. He taps it over to Matthews, who fumbles. Hurries and gets a kick back towards the wing position. Brown at the back, flew high, but a little bit late on the scene. Morris tries to smother it. He loses the ball. This allows Duckworth to come in and go for a long kick over the Bombers' half-forward line. Vanderhaar couldn't hold the mark. Hazard spins out of the pack. He's grabbed, picked up now by Russo. That's another hurried kick, and Wallace couldn't mark that. It's pretty slippery there with this rain coming down. And the bad kick that time by Wood, but don't blame him for that. It is a slippery ball.
Lou, with Ayres on the bench for as long as he has been, do you think he might be injured, or that Alan Jeans doesn't think he's capable of handling any of the Essendon forwards?
I don't know. I thought he wasn't playing that badly when he was taken off the ground.
I'm inclined to think he must be injured.
He certainly hasn't made a reappearance anyway since early in the match. Clark sockers the ball away for Essendon. Comes into the arms of Baker. Baker steadies from 35 metres out, but he's off target and only 1 point. 16-12, 108 to 11-5, 71-37 points the difference now. So Hawthorn needs 7 goals. Ayres, he's back on now. Mew. He should be pretty fresh. Deep here to Medico. Kennedy. Brereton. Hawthorn's only forward in the match, really. He has 6 goals. It's been a lone hand. I don't think he's missed one so far. From 45 to 50 metres out. I'll put the Jonah in that time because that one is through for 1 behind. 6 minutes into the final quarter, 16-12 to 11-6.
Peter, I think that 7 goals is the record. There's many players that hold that record for a grand final match.
Yes, many of them. I think Lee Matthews is one of them, isn't he, Lou?
I think Des Tutton might be amongst them. I'm not quite sure, but it'd be great to see Brereton get a goal here now to equal the record with those great players. Of course, it wouldn't be bad for Salmon either. He's kicked 5 up to the stage of the match.
Alex Jesseleko might be another, but anyway, we're pulling those off the top of our head. We did the record books for that. Out of bounds, right half forward flank now for Hawthorn. It will be a boundary throw-in. 6 3/4 minutes into the final term. Kennedy to contest the throw-in with Simon Madden. Hadn't got a hand to it, but it wasn't an accurate tap out. Picked up by Clark. Clark kickers out of bounds on the full, and that will result in a free kick to Hawthorn, taken at their right half forward flank. Lester Smith is the man with the ball, or he will be. He comes back from the crowd.
Getting a little chilly at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, and we've had sunshine for most of the days. We look at Alan Jean, he'd be a bit chilly and a little bit sad now because he can see this game slipping away from his side.
Lester Smith goes for a short pass, trying to find Dunstall, knocked away by Weston. Elshaw back and folds. Handley gives away the free kick. Will be taken by little Hazard. Hazard on left centre wing. Play on call, he does. Towards half forward. In front is Langford. At the back is Merritt. Great mark.
Oh, golly, he got one going by that time.
Got one from Gary Ayres, I think it was.
15-metre penalty.
Mentioned that, was there?
I don't think so, but still, I think he was going for the 15-metre penalty, Pete.
He got it, and Hawthorn have given away a lot of 15-metre penalties on the forward line.
Well, particularly in the first half of the match when they were really firing.
That's right, and Merritt did actually get a goal, one of his 3 from one of those 15-metre penalties. He's directly in front of goal, 35 metres out. Essendon already having more than a handy lead. missed that one. That will seal it well and truly for the 85 flag, and the Essendon players know that. Merritt putting through his fourth goal. It's Essendon 17-12, 114 to 11-6, 72.
So I don't think there's any doubt about it now, Pete. There's Roger Merritt. And what a danger those two key players have been, Lou.
Yes. He's such a strong player, this fellow, Bob.
It makes you, those league full-backs watching this game today must be thinking about Salmon next year.
9 minutes into the last quarter of the 1985 grand final, and the Bombers are really looking good now. As we see Harvey go for the long kick down there to Sam, and smothers the kick, picked up by Handley. A hand pass to O'Halloran, a little bit slow getting rid of that one. He gets a hurried kick out there, no one can grab it. Coming in to meet it now as Russo taps the ball back to Handley, fumbles. He's grabbed it, took me hold the ball, now the umpire let it play on. He might have been a bit lucky as we see the ball come back from Williams over to Elshaw. It was a hand pass coming out now to Ezard. Ezard in front of goal. This could be dangerous. Now he's off target. That's through for 1 point.
We're talking about 7 goal kickers, or players that have kicked 7 goals in the grand final. Norm Smith, Harris of Richmond, Reynolds of Essendon, Gordon Lade of Essendon, Jack Collins Footscray, Fordham of Essendon, Jesselenko of Carlton, and Bartlett of Richmond.
Waiting now for Wallace to send the ball out towards the wing position. Matthews in the front posse takes the mark out there of the half-forward wing position. Matthews playing his last game today, gives the ball over to Russell Green. It's a long kick up there towards the full forward position. It might be a goal. No, it bounced the wrong way. It bounced Essendon's way and falls through for 1 point by Danaher.
On replay now, we watch as Danaher not even trying to take possession, just thumps it through. And at this stage of the game, there's no need to take any risks.
42 points the difference. The ball comes back into play again. Out wide, coming in to meet it now is Madden, who played a sensational first half.
Official attendance, 100,042, Lou.
Well, that's fair enough. Who said football was dying? You get 100,000 people to see a grand final. It's still as popular as ever. As the short pass from Vanderheer goes over there to Harvey, and he grabs the ball at the centre half forward position. They've had many good players today, but none better than Madden when they really needed him. We've had Merritt playing well, and not forgetting Salmon down there. And Little Thompson's been putting in all day too. There's the kick into the goal square. And a good safe mark taken here by O'Halloran. Down there at the full-back position. 17-13, 150. Oh, what a shocker. This allowed Essendon with a chance here now. The umpire to ball it up right on the kick-off mark. That's unforgivable by O'Halloran. He's a little bit ashamed too, I should imagine.
So I think David would need telling, Luke.
We'll have to send a message out to tell him he's done the wrong thing. Knocked out by Salmon, picked up by Williams, but the kick is off target and out of bounds. So we'll have a throw-in right against the point post. Deep in the Essendon attacking zone. Thompson coming off the ground. He's been one of their best players today. There's no doubt about that. The ball knocked on that time by Merritt. And once again, it's over the line and out of bounds. But still pretty close to the Essendon goals.
12
Carey,
minutes
the player
gone.
that come on, Pete.
Yes, Carey being given a run by coach Kevin Sheedy to let him be part of the celebrations coming up shortly. 115 to 73. Tuck can't get clear. Out to Wallace. Offloaded by Harvey. Good hip and shoulder bump. Hand pass comes out to Welshaw now from Duckworth. In towards the 10-metre square. Salmon and Mew. No mark for either player. Baker, left foot snapshot. That'll be close. He's dobbed it, I think. That's a goal. Great play. Baker putting through his second goal for Essendon on the scoreboard. 18-13. 121 to 11-7, 73. It's a runaway victory.
There's just absolutely nothing you can think of, I don't think, Lou, that Alan Jeans could possibly do at this stage. Essendon swinging their players around, Baker covering a lot of territory well down the ground from the centre, and Kevin Sheedy would be delighted with the way his team are going about it.
13 minutes gone in the final quarter. 18-13 to 11-7. That's 7 goals, 6 in favour of Essendon. Knocked away by Matt. DP to Medico, kicks it pretty well off the ground. Danaher fumbles, but it won't matter because he makes amends very quickly and goes for a short pass out to the centre wing position where it's marked by Baker. Baker's gone for the long shot. He got decked after he kicked the ball. I don't know whether there's going to be a free downfield. No, there is it. Matthews gets it out of the pack. Bounce, favours Harvey. just about caught. In fact, he is caught and offloaded. Tried to do too much with it, Harvey. And Hawthorn gained possession. It's taken away by John Kennedy at left centre wing. He's gone for a short pass, marked by Ken Judge. Judge onto Loveridge, gets around Glenn Hawker. Wallace does some shepherding. Loveridge fumbles. Now he finally goes for a pass. It's marked by Dippy Domenico. Dipper decides to have a shot at goal, and he's put it through for 4 points. So Dippy Domenico putting through his first goal, 121-79.
Yes, I think we saw an example there of just how much the tempo has gone out of the game as Loveridge loses possession, has time to regain it, puts the kick out, and he wouldn't be too critical of Essendon just losing that little bit of real tight defence at this stage of the game, Lou.
Just on the 14.5-minute mark of this last quarter, 42 points the difference in favour of Essendon. Ball is picked up by Loveridge again, out towards that half-forward line. Judge overruns the ball. This gives Hawker a bit of a break, but he can't pick it up. He's hanging on to Judge, and the umpire spotted that. Judge quickly plays on, goes for a short pass. Wallace couldn't hold that, he was interfered with. Elshaw actually fumbled it too, so does Walsh, but it's pretty slippery out there as the ball comes back to the centre of the ground and marked here by McCarthy for Hawthorn. Sees a lead, it'll be okay. Russo quickly plays on. I think the umpire called play on then, and there'll be a ball up down towards Hawthorn's centre half-forward position. I'd say that, but I think he might have called play on.
I think it was more a case of Russo playing on because he did have the player there, but once again, poorly executed.
Still 42 points the difference, just over the 15-minute mark. Ball knocked out by Madden, picked up by Williams. Back towards Essendon's half-forward line. Merritt coming out now, having a great battle here with Morris. Morris gets the front posse, going after it now with him as Ezard. He smothers the ball. Hanley taps it on into the hands of Van der Haar. A long hand pass over to Harvey. This could be a goal. The little fella straightens up and fires. It's a goal for the Bombers again. You can put the premiership flag in the bag now. 19-13, 127 Essendon. The Hawthorn 12-7-79.
And replay now. It was a beautiful hand pass from Paul Van der Haar. He intercepted. And we watch on replay now. A long left hand pass, and Mark Harvey finishing it off after Paul Van der Haar's excellent play.
16 minutes gone in the final quarter, 127-79 in favour of the Bombers. 19-13 plays 12-7.
48 points the difference. Madden against McCarthy. Knocked out by Madden, picked up by Russo. It's a high kick, but doesn't cover much distance. Oh, outmanoeuvring Danaher that time was Brewer. He's been their best player by far. They haven't had many today. Up there towards Matthews. He gave Carey one to go on with there. Dunstall couldn't pick the ball up. He's pushed out the way very easily. Walsh can't pick it up. The ball's out there on that half-forward line for Hawthorn. Still going after now as the ball is pushed on by Carey. Over to Kennedy. Back to Russo again for Hawthorn. And the ball is over their half-forward line. A chance for Matthews to take the mark, and he does. Crowd giving him letting him carry there, but that's a bit unfortunate. It's a bad pass by Matthews. Been a great player over the years, and I hate to see people hooting a champion like that. Right across goals. It's safe. It's usually dangerous. Madden takes the mark. Back to Hawker. Hawker shoots the ball out there to Harvey on his own. He copped a heavy bump from Morris. And he's got the ball out there on the centre wing position. And they're doing it pretty easily as he goes for a pass. A good one. He finds Roger Merritt. Michael Tuck a little bit late on the scene. There could be 15 metres penalty against him here if he's not careful. So Merritt about 70 metres out from goal at the 17.5-minute mark. And the Bombers are still 48 points in front. He's been a fine player today too, Bob.
Oh, great player, Roger Merritt.
Short pass. And a good mark to Timmy Watts. Another short pass. They're I don't know where to go, Hawthorn.
Play on.
He called play on as he gets a quick hand pass back to Morris. I know he's bringing it back. It's got to be a mark, I should imagine. It's going to be holding the ball against
him.
Yes,
it was. He played holding the ball. Harvey again. Let one go. Umpire racing in with the book.
They're very recorded.
Not much doubt about that. Essendon fans love it. Brereton doesn't love it. Well, about Dermody get last word with an echo.
The replay now we come in.
Well,
didn't look as bad on the replay.
No, it didn't, did it? Not from that angle anyway. Looked worse from that angle.
What else could he do? He had to try and stop and knock the ball away. No, I wouldn't have reported him for that one.
Anyway, means that the season isn't finished for the umpires and those two players, because they'll be fronting the tribunal on Monday night. 15-metre penalty subsequent to that, taken by Harvey. Harvey's kick up towards trying to find Van der Haar. Chance for Billy Duckworth to score a goal, and he does. And Billy's pretty happy about it. Even if he struck his double parked out the back at the moment. 2013, 133 to 12-7-79, and the picture tells the story.
So I don't think it needs any comment at all. As we watch the replay, Duckworth at the back of the pack, now snapping truly, and the umpire really being throttled by young Handley, but the ball through for full points.
Well, on a thoroughly deserved premiership win to Essendon, they've completely outplayed Hawthorn this afternoon. They've outscored them in every quarter, and Hawthorn looking a pretty dispirited combination at the moment. 133 to 79. It will be the Bombers' second successive flag.
If you look at the actual scoring shots, Pete, 33 to 19.
Still think Hawthorn lost this, well, initially anyway, at the selection table. I didn't like their side from the start. Picked up by Williams. Knocked away by Ayres. Steve Carey on the ground now, does some useful shepherding to keep Handley at bay. It's picked up by Baker. Baker's gone for a short pass to Billy Duckworth, who of course won the medal for the best and fairest in the grand final last year. I don't think he'll win it this year. The honour, I would think, will go to his teammate Simon Madden. Big pack of players down there. It rebounds to Watson. He has a ping at the goals and has put it through for another one. It's academic, of course, because it will be Essendon's flag. 21-13, 139 to 12-7-79, and the Bombers are already celebrating.
Yes, it's at this stage it looks as though it could even be what we term a runaway win, because Hawthorn just unable to contain Essendon in any part of the field at the moment.
Centre bounce again, just over the 20-minute mark of this last quarter. 60 points the difference as Madden gets another knock, and he's been a fantastic player today. Picked up by Russo, a fumble by Matthews. He's grabbed, still gets a kick back over the half-forward line. Coming in to meet it now is Brereton, spins through the pack. He nearly got one from Madden. Gets a hand pass back to Matthews, pushed away by Duckworth. Back it goes to McCarthy, soon grabbed. Over it, scooped up. Was that a throw by Baker? Over to Danaher. Back it goes now to Weston. They're looking marvellous at the moment. Essendon over to Van der Haar. He balks. He's looking for Salmon. Salmon at the back. Got the sit on Mew flies, but Mew covered him well. Picked up now by Merritt. Short pass. It'll be okay. And marked by Weston. Chance for another goal. But he's off target and through for 1 point. Tell you what, Bob, when the back pocket players start kicking goal, that's insult to injury, isn't it? Particularly that shot of Duckworth.
Well, when Weston was lining that one up then, that was exactly what I thought. First Duckworth, now Weston.
Oh, golly. Tuck with a short pass. Intercepted by Elshaw, but still grabbed that time by Wallace. He's had a very difficult day today, but he's had a great season. Ball back out towards the wing position. Punched away by Danaher. Picked up by DP Domenico. The ball back over the half-forward line. Coming in to meet it is Gary. Gary playing in his first grand final as he kicks the ball back, and a mark taken here by Baker, who's played a very handy game today. There's Fowles spreading the pack as he gets away from Lester Smith. A hand pass back to Duckworth again. Back it goes to Fowles. Fowles out there at a half-forward, kicks it high. Little Williams comes and he's got the mark. Well, they actually let him go for that one, and Hawthorn stood there virtually. It was an easy margin finally. So he's got it out there at half-forward, about 50 metres out from goal. There's a lead, and Merritt's grabbed it well within kicking distance, only about 35 metres out from goal.
Merritt will give Simon Madden a shake for the medal.
Oh, well, he will. He's had 9 marks for the day and kicked 4 goals. Been a fine player, and in my opinion, Bob, the most valuable big player in football.
So couldn't argue with that one, Luke.
Let's see whether they can get goal number 5. Yes, he'd be pretty close to the best player on the ground. There's a couple of them got a big chance here today for the medal, for the Norm Smith medal. Merritt taking his time. Lets it go. And that is a goal. It's goal number 5. So it's 22 goals for in Essendon to Hawthorn. 12 goals, 7-79.
Well, the record in the grand final is held by Hawthorn at 83 when they annihilated Essendon by 83 points. I'm just wondering if the Bombers have got time, Bob, to perhaps win by over 83 points.
Well, I think there's probably another 7 or 8 minutes at least, Pete, and the way they're going at the moment, that could mean another 3, 4, who knows.
23 3/4 minutes gone. 146 plays 79. Very dispirited Hawthorn combination out there. They don't throw in the towel, but they look pretty ordinary at the moment. Morris down to left half forward, and Brereton, good mark, easily Hawthorn's best player, and Brereton marking about 30 metres on a slight angle. Has taken 6 marks.
8 marks, 6 goals.
Thank you, Bob. That is close to another one. So he'll get his name in the record book anyway as one of a handful of players, which I gave you before, that have kicked 7 goals in a grand final. A great performance by Dermot Brereton in Hawthorn's total of 13 goals, 7. They trail Essendon 22-14.
Bob, he'd have to be in the running in the first 3 best players on the ground for that performance so far, because the odds have been against him, really, haven't they?
They certainly have, Lou. He's been the lone player on the Hawthorn forward line. There's not another Hawthorn forward that has been anywhere like a winner.
Couldn't agree with you more, Bob. 146 to 85, so that will perhaps nullify Essendon's attempts to get the record. Russo, short kick to half forward. Brereton almost brought off a miraculous mark there, then tries to fight Terry Wallace for the ball. He's still got a chance, but it's socketed away by the Essendon skipper. Out to the centre wing position. Picked up out there by Russell Morris. Morris has kicked down to half forward, and Matthews, has he taken the mark in front of Carey? He will be plated by the umpire. And Matthews, he'd be a fair way out from goal, 45 to 50 metres. Matthews has scored 1 goal today. We watched that in replay. Juggle.
He copped one too.
Well, he might have paid the free kick. Matthews, will it be his last goal? It won't be a goal, it won't be a score. Foles, dispossessed. Brereton, he could get his name in the record books if that's a goal. It is.
Good on him. He's broken the record. 8 goals. That's a fantastic effort, isn't it?
That is the record in the grand final. 8 goals kicked by Dermot Brereton. 22-14 to 14-7. A fine performance.
Yes, you can't. Nothing you could say could express. Look, the way he wins the ball. He tackled. He went back after it. He lost it. He went back after it again, and you could do nothing but speak praise of the effort of Dermot Brereton today. It's easy to go well when your side's winning, but it's not so easy to keep at it like Dermot Brereton has today.
A fine performance by Dermot Brereton, breaking the record for the most number of goals in a grand final. 55 points the difference at the 26.5-minute mark of this last quarter of the 1985 grand final. Back it goes to Lester Smith, picked up by Walsh, but he was grabbed but he didn't have the ball, so Lester Smith takes the free kick a little short of centre half back. Over the half forward line, punched away that time by Weston. Picked up now by Baker. A long hand pass to Nobby Clark at centre half back. Gives it back to Baker again. As I said before, he's been a very handy player today with a beautiful pass there to Walsh. He decides to play on. Showed a bit too much pace for his opponents. Looking for Big Salmon again. Flies, taps the ball on. Looking there for Watson. He goes down. He tries to get a hand pass out. Couldn't get clear. The ball going for the boundary line and out of bounds. That's the beautiful part of... Watson could have cramp. I think it may be cramp.
He's entitled to have, I think.
I'd reckon he's played a fine game too. But that Salmon, he's a marvellous play. Keeps on knocking the ball out the ruck or taking marks. He's all over the place. Harvey tried to get a hand pass out to Wellshore. It's successful. And Salmon's got it right in front, only about 15 metres out. And a chance for goal number 6. I suppose you'd call that a pass, but when it's a missed kick and it comes off, you give it the credit of being a pass, Bob.
It still counts, doesn't it, Lou?
It certainly does, and it's not a bad effort. 6 goals in the grand final either. And we've got about 4 minutes to go. He could finish up with 7 too.
He needs 8 now.
Well, he's got to kick this one because he's only about 15 metres out on a bit of an angle. And there's no worries about that. That's goal number 6 to Salmon. 23 goals, 14, 152 Essendon to Hawthorn, 14-7, 91.
Well, they were the best team throughout the year, losing only 3 matches in the home and away series, and they've illustrated perfectly this afternoon that they're going to be the side to be reckoned with for many years to come. 2 premierships in succession, and the way they're playing today, they could win it for the next 2 as well. 28.5 minutes gone in the final term. 152 to 91 in the 85 premiership contest. Contest perhaps a misnomer at the moment. Madden. Russo. Opposite number 4 is Baker. Baker on left centre wing. Fires out the hand pass to Darren Williams. Back it goes to Baker. In pursuit is Lester Smith for Hawthorn. Baker's kick is a short one. Out of bounds. Not on the full. Or was it on the full? It is on the full. Baker having 31 possessions. Free kick going to Loveridge though. In front is McCarthy. Has the ball thumped away from him. Lester Smith again for Hawthorn. Bounce doesn't favour Danaher. It does favour Carey. And then pass back to Clark. Over to Hawker. Hawker just about caught with the ball. Out comes Ken Judge. Judge on right centre wing. The kick is high. Underneath it is Matthews, and Matthews stands his ground to take the mark. Long way from goal. Probably about 45 to 50 metres. 29.5 minutes gone. Hawthorn skipper comes in for a shot at goal. Touched right on the line, I think. Yes, it is. So 1 point to the Hawks. 22-14 to 14-8. 92 to 152. That's a difference of 60 points or 10 goals, if you'd prefer it that way. Either way, it's a good win to Essendon. Danaher at the back. Picked up by Walsh. Scoops it out. In fact, almost throws it out to Wellshaw, but the umpire, that was a throw. Clark. Clark, long kick, looking for Van der Haar. Duckworth. Ezard. We hit him on the head, the ball. Got a good turn of speed, the little redhead. Has a shot at the goals again, and he's done it. Great goal. Ezard popping through another one. That's his second. And the Bombers 24. 24-18. 158 to 14-8, 92. They've kicked 9 goals this quarter, and that's the same number of goals as they kicked in the grand final quarter last year.
Yes, and Duckworth now showing his adaptability. Now playing on the forward line, a hand pass to Ezard, and that little dash that Ezard, I think that's almost the difference between the Hawthorn small men and the Essendon small men. Essendon smaller players just have that little bit of nip that enables them to break play up.
66 points the difference as we approach the 31-minute mark of this last quarter of the 1985 grand final. As I said before, the Bombers have it in the bag. Harvey tries to get clear. Walsh gets well, he actually passed it over that time to Wellshaw. The ball down to Merritt. And he's kicked 5 goals from centre half forward, a fine effort too. He's taken 10 marks. There's a short pass, it'll be okay, and Williams has got the mark well within kicking distance.
I think if he kicks this through, it will be a record number of goals for a final quarter in a grand final.
Waiting now for, there's the pass again, right down the throat of Williams. He's only about 25 metres out from goal on a slight angle. I reckon we've got about another 2 minutes to go, Pete.
Yes, a bit of time yet.
Williams going for goal number 2, and of course a big chance to put him 72 points in front, and that's right through the middle for a goal. And the Bombers winning the flag for 1985, 164 plays, 92.
10 goals they've kicked in the final quarter. Without checking the record books, I'm pretty well certain that it is a record for a last quarter in a VFL grand final. They kicked 9 last year. Essendon, they've gone 1 better in season 1985 with a burst of 10 in the final term. Hawthorn has kicked 3.
32.5 minutes gone just about. The centre bounce again, 164 plays, 92, and the Bombers are premiers for 1985 for sure as Madden gets another knockout. Over it goes to Walsh, back it goes to Clark, kicked out wide looking for Rezat. He's taken the mark out there at half forward, about 50 metres out. He's driving it up to Big Sam, and can he grab this one? The pack fly, there's too many. That could be Harvey kicking this one. He got it through. It's a goal. That's his 4th. 26 goals, 14, 170. That's the Bomber score for the 1985 grand final so far, and it's not over to 14 goals, 8-92.
As on replay we see Walsh get the hand pass out. Well taken there by Clark. Ezard takes the mark, and he had one thought at that stage and putting it up to Salmon, and Salmon gets bundled out of the way, and he only just got boot to ball, but nonetheless, that's all that's necessary.
Well, if they get another goal, Bob, they could beat the record that Hawthorn inflicted on them in '83. That was the defeat in excess of 80 points.
Ball back into play again as it goes wide towards the, or over the half-forward line for Hawthorn.
There's the siren.
Siren to win the game, and Essendon the premiers for 1985, winning 2 in a row. 26 goals, 14, 170 Essendon to Hawthorn, 14-8, 92.
So Essendon, successive premiers, 84 and 85, and that levels Carlton now with 14 VFL flags. Another coaching triumph for Kevin Sheedy. For the Hawks, they'll be licking their wounds tonight and hoping perhaps they can come back again in 1986. But Essendon thoroughly deserving their premiership win this afternoon. They were the best team right throughout the year, and they handed Hawthorn one farther of a hiding today. The only consolation the Hawks have, they won the reserves flag by defeating Carlton. Kevin Sheedy coming out onto the ground. Is it his last game coaching Essendon? The rumours are still very strong. He's going to be coaching the Sydney Swans next year. We'll know that during the week. Alan Jeans did his best this afternoon. The Hawthorn players weren't up to it. And so for the Hawks, it'll be a night of merriment. In case of thinking what might have been. Peter Dodigan has Kevin Sheedy.
Well, Ron Cook, Hawthorn president, just congratulating Kevin Sheedy. Kev, that this wouldn't be more satisfying than last year.
Compared grand finals, if you're lucky enough to win them and beat them, a club like Hawthorn, I always feel if you can beat a club like Hawthorn in the grand final, you've always earned it. And they're one of the clubs that I've always sort of tried to learn about football off. And naturally, we're terribly happy with our win, and I'm really pleased to see the players enjoying it.
Simon Madden and Roger Merritt, fantastic performances.
Yes, they've been wonderful boys to coach. I can't criticise hardly any of the players in the club. They've been a wonderful group of players, and they deserve their second premiership.
Kev, I'll let you go and celebrate with the boys. Kevin Sheedy, Victoria's coach in the grand final. Back to Pete.
Thank you, Peter Donigan. We'll take a break and we'll be back for the presentations in just a moment. Being carried off the ground, almost in tears, I think. 340 games and receiving a huge round of applause even from the Essendon fans here now as Matthews makes his way to the dressing room for the final time. Nearly a record grand final win to Essendon. They came right away from Hawthorn by booting a record number of goals in the last quarter, and the Hawthorn players had too many smiles on their faces. They go to the rooms to lick their wounds. The Essendon players stay on the ground to celebrate their second successive flag, equalling the record of Carlton of 14 grand final wins. The applause for their coach, Kevin Sheedy. So the celebrations for Essendon just about to begin as we go down to the Commissioner of the Victorian Football League, Jack Hamilton.
Your Excellency, Mr. Prime Minister, football supporters, congratulations to the Essendon Football Club, premiers in 1985. It's my pleasure to announce the winner of the Norm Smith Medal for Best Player in the Grand Final, Simon Madden of Essendon Club. I now invite former Secretary of the Melbourne Football Club and lifelong friend of the late Norm Smith, Mr. Jim Cardwell, to make the presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, a worthy winner of a wonderful medal to commemorate a wonderful man, Simon Madden.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Governor of Victoria, Sir Brian Murray.
Mr. Commissioner, Prime Minister, Mr. Premier, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'd like to thank, on your behalf, the Victoria Football League, the Melbourne Cricket Club, 3rd Military District Band, the Marching Girls, and Melbourne's own Diana Trask, and everyone here who has made this 1985 Grand Final Day so memorable. This is the 3rd successive year in which these two great teams, Essendon and Hawthorn, have met in the Grand Final, and they have given us a magnificent display of Australian rules football. Both teams reflect the greatest credit on their coaches, their captains, and their clubs. Once again, the power, the endeavour, and the will to win of the Bombers has prevailed. It's now my great pleasure to ask the Premier team, Essendon, to come forward for the presentation of the commemorative medals and the Premiership Cup.
Thank you, Your Excellency. The Essendon Football Club, number 2, Brian Wood. Number 3, Paul Salmon. Number 4, Leon Baker. Number 8, Neil Clark. Number 10, Gary Foles. Number 13, Darren Williams. Number 14, Tony Elshaw. Number 15, Alan Ezard. Stephen Carey. Number 18, Paul van der Haar. Number 22, Bill Duckworth. Number 25, Roger Merritt. Number 26, Mark Thompson. Number 27, Simon Madden. Number 28, Paul Weston. Number 30, Kevin Walsh. Number 32, Vice Captain Tim Watson. Hawker. Number 38, Mark Harvey. Coach, Kevin Sheedy. Captain Terry Danaher. And now, ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency the Governor to make the presentation of the Premiership Cup to captain and coach of the Essendon Football Club, Kevin Sheedy, Terry Danaher.
Essendon, 2 successive premierships, and the players doing their lap of honour, equalling Carlton's record of 14 VFL flags. Bob Skelton, your final comment for season 1985.
Well, if my voice sounds filled with envy, Pete, that's true. I'm always so envious of those players as they do their lap of honour, that the ultimate in football, to be a part of a winning premiership team, and to win back-to-back premierships in the manner that Essendon have this year. Well, it speaks volumes for the ability of all and sundry, right from the administration through the coach, Kevin Sheedy, and the players out there on the ground. And it is the players out there on the ground that really have to win the game for a club, and those Essendon players fully deserve the applause that they're getting right now. It's been a magnificent season for Essendon, repeating what was said before the game. 19 out of 22 wins, a great win in the second semi-final, and only needing to play the 2 final games, and in both of them they just destroyed Hawthorn in a manner that, well, it was absolutely awesome. And to think that number 3 that's jumping around there with the Premiership Cup right now is back in business, there must be a few fullbacks around the place that won't sleep easy tonight.
Peter, that's the happiness, that's the happy side of the game. Essendon the victors, but there was a sad note here today to see one of the greatest players of all times, Lee Matthews, play his last game, and it was kind of very sad to see that great champion go off the ground as he did here today.
Yes, he would have loved to have been out there after 340 games, taking the cup off in a grand final. It wasn't to be, but nonetheless a great VFL career, and I'm sure Lee Matthews will bob up somewhere next season in a coaching capacity. We hope you've enjoyed a telecast from the Melbourne Cricket Ground this afternoon at the 1985 grand final. A memorable win, a fine match. On behalf of Bob Skelton, Lou Richards, Peter McKenna, Peter Donegan, our director Don Fitzsimmons, our statistician Paul Todd, a very capable camera crew, we say good afternoon to you all. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage. We hope you can join us again next season for VFL football on the 7 Network.
To be there for the big one was my aim. The 7 wonders of the world, I stood and looked in awe. But there's something back in my hometown that gives me more. 'Cause when the the fight for glory on the famous MCG.